Test, test.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
You're listening to the Boxing Voice.
It's showtime!
Welcome back, boxing fans.
Blood is good.
Tired face, I'm after blood.
Blood is emotion.
Too much blood coming out of the eye.
Blood is a story, a drama.
Deep gas, blood pouring right into his eye.
Blood is what we want to see in terms of passion.
Blood streaming now from the cut in the eye, the nose, his mouth, his cheeks swollen, and he's still crawling.
What we want is a bloody good fight tonight.
We have Heather, the Heat Hardy. Is this you?
Listen, me. I think I need to talk to you every night because you make me smile and blush over here.
Never been a lame-o, never been a lame-o. Yeah, I love the trip. I'm okay.
You serious? You serious?
And that's the good thing about UK. That's why I can't hate on them guys, man. They love fucking boxing.
No fighters in England. They all bums.
Did you hear what this idiot just said?
Yo, son, you're gonna get your ass beat by Molina, son.
Are you fucking kidding me? He's overrated.
Do some pushes for me right now. For the interview? Yes. Let your hands go. Get out of here, Virgil. Go home. What next?
You want the table for us to please. You want me to lie? You want the table for us to please.
BoxingVoice.com. It's why we use the word sensation.
Fuck that, this your destiny, niggas. You hear me? Go kick his motherfucker! Get that motherfucker!
He ain't do no kicking of no asses yesterday. That is faux show. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Boxing Voice, and this will be our Canelo versus Kirkland recap. Canelo definitely looked great last night, so we're absolutely going to be talking about that as well as all this weekend's action, which was a lot of it, you know. Frankie Gomez didn't fight, but we had fights on ESPN, we had fights on True TV, we had fights on HBO, CBS, and we even had some untelevised fights that hopefully you guys read about, and even some stuff over on Unimas. So casual fan, what's going on, brother? No intro for you yet, man. How do we make an intro for a casual fan, huh? Yeah. Whoa. I don't know. Casual fan made his own intro. It's called Air. So that being said, let me bring on, one of the best co-hosts that we have.
Fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona.
Boxing fans, here's Jameson.
A lot of fights this weekend, man. We got a lot of different results. We got some controversial fights. We got some close fights that could have gone either way. We got knockouts. We got skill. I can't wait to get started talking on this because I enjoyed the hell out of this weekend.
And for those of you who missed them,
Remember me? I'm Stuart Little. I'm Stuart Little.
What's happening, boys?
what's going on? Sounds like you're in an airport over there, Stuart. What are you doing?
Lifting, mate.
Yeah, it sounds like you got some clippers on, but we're going to keep it moving.
It's me, Mario.
I was born ready. What up?
What up? I know. I
just caught in.
Son told me Mario's not gonna miss this show. I mean, this guy's been pro Canelo since Televisa days is all I can say. But let's bring on, last but not least,
introducing the hard-hitting ringside Robbie.
Well, Miguel Cotto, take care of business because I can't wait for Cotto Canelo.
You know, Robbie, I'm glad that you went there because I'm going to say while I was thoroughly impressed with the knockout, I wasn't all the way impressed with Canelo. And I would have to say that if that fight happened next, I'm going with Cotto. Kirkland showed some things, and what he showed is that against the ropes with not enough space, Canelo can get, I guess, a little bit anxious, maybe, nervous, maybe. I don't know, because Kirkland was doing everything wrong. I mean, what was up with that left hand that he would just lunge in with? He was just listen, Kirkland, horrible, technically horrible. He just looked very sloppy in there. He was doing everything wrong, and it was funny because my wife didn't know Kirkland like that. She was like, "Oh, that's who Canelo's fighting? I didn't even know." You know, and my sister-in-law, she definitely didn't know Kirkland, but she knew somehow that was the guy that beat up Tapia, right? So we're watching this fight, and I'm like, man, if he gets out of this second round, this might be a fight. But sure enough, he got clipped in the first round again. I mean, this dude is like, this is like becoming natural to him. You know, I'm not going to chew it up a lot. I'm going to just bounce it back off of you guys and see what you thought. Let's go with the first round, which was a round that, even with Kirkland's pressure, again, while I wasn't thoroughly impressed with the overall Canelo performance, in this first round he kept his composure. And he found some counter shots. He had some success. I know for a fact that uppercut wasn't the first round, but I just want to mention that uppercut. It was beautiful. That was a thing of beauty. And it was so Mayweather-ish because he leaned back. The only difference was Mayweather comes back with an overhand right counter. He leaned back, and when he came in with that right hand uppercut, and boy, that was a thing of beauty. This is what we want. This is what we want our superstars, how we want our superstars to perform. Now, again, when you start talking Cotto and Kirkland, they're on nowhere near on the same stratosphere. Because, again, the little things that Kirkland did have success at doing by accident, I think that Cotto would capitalize on. But we know that Cotto's not a pressure fighter. So can he bring that out of Canelo? Can he give Canelo, force Canelo to have that nervous energy that he had in this entire fight? Because no matter what, Kirkland kept coming back. I don't know. Which one of you guys want to jump in?
Well, I personally think, Ness, that even though Cotto doesn't deliver a lot of pressure, Cotto's got enough ring experience that he can make things difficult for Canelo. I don't know who I'm going to pick in that fight. I want to wait and make sure that it happens first, but that's why I said Miguel Cotto take care of business, because I want to see that. I want to see that fight. I want to see what Cotto can bring to the table, because I do think you can present Canelo with problems. And I view this Kirkland fight as just nothing but a sparring session, because James was so technically unsound, and everybody hyped up these new trainers and how they were going to have James doing this, James doing that. Well, James didn't show up to do much of anything, but what he did do is he showed other fighters who are capable of delivering, pressure that maybe Canelo can't deal with it.
Well said.
But we have to go forward and wait and see what happens. But I sincerely hope that Cotto takes care of business, so we do see that fight.
Well, I think that Kirkland's pressure was pretty relentless, so I'm not really hating on Canelo for staying on the ropes as long as he did. If James Kirkland learned anything throughout his career, he should have learned that you could punch yourself out too early. I mean, you saw Glenn Tapia do it, allowed himself to get knocked out. You saw Alfredo Angulo do it to him, allowed himself to get knocked out. I can't believe he didn't pick up on this. And what annoyed me the most is that he would have success doing it, but he never really changed anything about it. So he just kept coming forward. And in the corner, his trainers and stuff would be like, "Oh, don't square up, don't square up." The moment he got back in there, he'd square up. He wasn't even listening to the trainers. So, I mean, we all talked about how, I said on the last show that I thought James Kirkland maybe had a chance because of the relentless pressure that he showed in the first. But, I mean, this dude, he's obviously not capable of fighting at a high level anymore. But Canelo did what he did and took care of business. I mean, I can say he might have issues with pressure, but there's no one I could really see that would actually give him pressure like that. Golovkin would, but in a different way. The Cotto fight really interests me, though, because they're about the same weight, and Cotto has a lot of, I guess he's a better boxer to me than him. So I wouldn't mind seeing that fight next. I actually want to see that fight next. And I do want to see Canelo, if he gets past Cotto, get to Gennady Golovkin, because I think he'll actually fight him. So, I mean, I'm excited for the kid, man. This is a different showing that we've seen in a long time from Canelo, and I'm excited.
I think that what we saw is...
Hey, Mario, let Stu in.
Go ahead, Stuart.
I was just checking. Can you hear me? Okay.
Perfect.
Right, yeah, it's a great performance from Canelo Alvarez. I mean, anyone that thought Kirkland was going to win that fight is obviously seriously deluded or picking for other reasons, what I won't mention. But Canelo Alvarez, like I said before, when everyone was on his back after he got beat by Floyd, this guy's going to be one of the future stars of boxing. He's got it all. He's got the looks, the talent. When he's throwing combinations, is there a better sight in boxing? I don't think there is. Problem is, he's a bit top heavy, and I think stamina problems could be there in the future. Again, someone like Cotto, who goes to the trenches, that could be a problem for him. But I really like Canelo Alvarez. But Kirkland, obviously, well out of his depth. Always knew it was going to be an easy fight for Canelo Alvarez. Onwards and upwards, I say. But you know, the Golovkin fight's a little, you know, I agree with Oscar De La Hoya. Leave that for 2 years. Let Canelo Alvarez grow as a man, because he's growing as a fighter, and I think this kid's going to be special.
Yeah, and I did see that Canelo did appear to kind of look a little gassed after the second round. He wasn't throwing as fast or as often, but that's always been a Canelo knock, and I'm glad you brought that up, Stu, because I always forget about that until I watch the fights.
I just think that everybody completely underestimated, except for Ness maybe, or in Robbie, has completely underestimated what Kirkland was doing in there in the first round. I mean, he was essentially making Canelo look small. I think for the first time, and maybe because he was fighting somebody who wasn't super small, he just looked so small in there. He looked like he was getting bullied. He didn't have a chance to, and relentless pressure, as you said, James, was a big factor. Of course, it's hard to just kind of deal with somebody who can continue to, work the tank, or is not conscious enough of saving something in the tank, like you pointed out. But I think that Kirkland scared me, guys, in that first round. Kirkland absolutely scared me. The way that he was coming forward, the way that he was pressuring Canelo, it looked like Canelo wasn't going to get anything off in that first round. Sure enough, he got something off in that first round. He got it big. But then look what happens. That first round, the second round was the exact opposite of the first round. Where the first round, Kirkland started off strong, and then Canelo found a way to, I wouldn't even say that, he just hurt him is what happened. He hurt him. He caught him with something, and the momentum changed. That's what happened. The second round was the exact opposite. Canelo started strong, carrying that momentum with him that in the first round, and Kirkland started taking some momentum back, and then obviously the third round sounded it all. I think if we learned two things from last night about Canelo is, one, Canelo is a prize fighter. There's a difference between world-class fighters. Mayweather was born to be a great fighter, perhaps the greatest fighter of all time. But Canelo was born to be a prize fighter. He was born to put on shows. Wait, hold on. When Mayweather and Pacquiao fought last week, to me, I felt like they weren't fighting for much of anything. I felt like whatever they were fighting for was already earned. Last night, it looked like they were both fighting for a prize. And that's the point of prize fighting, isn't it? The second thing I think we learned, and this is what I'll leave off with and pass it on to see what y'all think, Triple G kills Canelo in any era, in any decade, in any age. They can transform back to when they were 12 years old, hop in the DeLorean, Golovkin kills them. They can wait until they're 50 years old, Golovkin kills them. I'm not saying that Kirkland looked like Golovkin. I'm saying that what Canelo struggled with against Kirkland, Triple G can do at an extremely high level and very scientifically. That spells problem. I still want to see it, and y'all are all right with the Cotto thing. James broke it down perfectly as far as what that fight looks like now and why it's more exciting. Or both him and Robbie made great points about that. But that fight now, Triple G in the future, but he's going to lose either way.
Because Golovkin comes with educated pressure, something Kirkland didn't come with. I mean, there was no thought.
And he still had problems.
Kirkland fought like Omar Figueroa did.
Kirkland looked like more like Maidana against Floyd Mayweather when he just wanted to pin him and just keep banging.
Yes, man. You always come with these great metaphors. That was perfect. And it's funny because it almost looked like he was getting ready to throw that chopping overhand at times, and he didn't. He would change angles. I mean, it wasn't scientific what Kirkland was doing, but it was really athletic. Like if you took Canelo out of if you CG'd him out of the fight, right? Canelo looks like he's drowning in open water, but it's really athletic. Like the movement is really, beautiful is really the only word I can think of. He uses his body in a really agile kind of way. It's just not very technical when it comes to boxing. It's not going to be very efficient for a long stretch of time.
Hey, let me just jump in here. You guys keep it going back and forth. I just want to have you guys acknowledge that when I come back, I'll have Sean and Ken Porter. They wanted to get on. Actually, here they go right here. Ken, Sean, what's going on?
What's happening, Ness?
Hey, Sean, what's up, brother?
Not too much, man. I think my dad's online, too. Just trying to enjoy the Sunday and, take it easy.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
We got you, Commando. We got you. 10-4. So what's going on, guys? Talk to us. I mean, everybody wants to know what's going on with this fight. We're all excited. I mean, we did a show on Thursday, and instead of anybody talking about Canelo Kirkland, while they eventually got to it, everybody that did call in mentioned Porter Broner. So
it took over the show by far.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what Porter Broner and what type of event this is going to be.
You want to take that, Sean?
Well, you know what? From my standpoint, that's what I like to hear. I like to hear that my name is being mentioned and taking over the show, and that's what I plan to do if we get that fight. For me, it's just all about work and staying ready. That's all I do. Went to church this morning. After church, I went and did a 3-mile bike ride and a 3-mile run, and then got in the sauna a little while, and then did the 3-mile bike ride back to my home. So, it's Sunday. I got my church in, talked to the Lord, and then, got some work in as well. So that's all I do. I just try to stay dedicated to what I'm doing and stay focused day in and day out. Watch my weight, watch my food intake, and, stay ready. That's it. So I'm hearing that the fight is still developing, and everything should be on the up and up as far as that goes. So Team Porter is moving forward, in preparation to fight Adrian Broner June 20th here at the MGM is what I'm hearing.
So, Sean, I guess the question would be is that we're also hearing that the fight is going to be at 144. I think you fought as high as middleweight before, and you're also a large 147. Are you going to be able to make the 144 comfortably where you feel like you could go into the ring 100%?
Well, you know what? There were talks of, between my dad and I about there being a catch weight. And, when my dad mentioned that it was possible that there would be a catch weight, I looked at my dad and I told him, well, I can't even worry about that. I can't, think that there's no chance that I can't make a certain weight or anything like that. So, again, man, I stay focused on what I have to do. And, I know that I'll be blessed. I'll be fine. I'll be strong. And, I'm willing and able to do whatever it takes to make this fight happen. And, just to get in the ring against a good opponent and showcase my talent.
Sean, what kind of fight is that to you on paper? I mean, I think, because look, let me tell you what the biggest argument was last week. People were actually saying to us on air that Broner was a better boxer than Sean Porter. It was crazy. I don't know what they were taking, but what kind of fight is it to you style-wise on paper?
You know what? I don't think Adrian Broner's a better boxer than I am. The kid is crazy talented. And I'm crazy skillful, and I'm very athletic, and so is he. I think one thing that makes a difference there is the hard work that you put into the gym, the focus that you put into the game plan, going into a fight, and the team that you have around you and the people that you have around you. And I think as far as that goes, I have the better team. And, I'm always prepared. I think I have better preparation going into the fight. So with that being said, I do think that this will be a great fight. I don't think that, I'm hearing a lot of things like, I'm too big or I'm too strong. I fought against guys that were 6'5" and put them on their butts. Size doesn't mean anything once you get into the ring. It's all about what you're able to do. And I think this is a good fight where he's talented. He's able to, throw quick, fast counters and, good, fast punches. And, not only can I keep up, but I do look to be able to surpass him if we fight.
Hey, where did this fight come from, Sean? Like, I mean, they were talking about opponents for y'all like Bradley and Khan, and I mean, there was just so many opponents floating out there for the two of you because you two are, one of the easier marquee fighters. It's easy to make fights and put y'all's name in the bill, and so all these fights, like, how did this fight come about? I mean, did their team want it? Did your team want it? Was it, Al calling you both? I mean, what happened there?
That's so funny that you asked me that question because it was, for me, it was kind of like, where did this fight come from? At first it was Timothy Bradley for, a little less than a week, and then out of nowhere it became Keith Thurman. And, I went from, in my mind, thinking I was going to fight Timothy Bradley to thinking it might be Keith Thurman, and then, my dad just, approaches me and says, hey, we may have a fight against Adrian Bronner. Obviously he asked me what I thought, and, I told him I thought. And, now it seems like this is the fight that we're going to move forward with. So I think out of all those names, this is the best fight for me. This is the biggest fight for me at this point in my career. And, that's what we're looking to do right now is fight Adrian Bronner.
Go ahead, James.
No, I was just wondering because you're a very humble man. Every time we talk to you, you're very business in the ring, business outside the ring. I guess the easiest comparison with Adrian Broner is he's very boisterous. He's very out there. When you see an opponent like that, because you guys outside the ring right now, at least I haven't heard of any beefs you guys have had. When you guys start doing these press conferences, he's going to start running his mouth. He's going to come into the ring with some hip-hop star coming in with him. How does that make you feel? Is that something that gets you, I guess, you more hyped and you feel like it will drive you more? Or is it something that just kind of, pisses you off but you don't want to pay attention to it?
Yeah, maybe for the most part. I grew up with two older brothers, so I've been beat on, I've been, talked about and, beat down and all that kind of stuff. So that's no problem for me. It's no problem for me to, hear the things that he's going to say or read the things that he's going to, say and ignore them or laugh at them or, just shrug them off. That's the type of person I am. I'm not a talker. I'm a doer, so when I know that he's a talker and I know he still has to get in the ring and do what he says he's going to do, and I know that I'm already prepared to do everything that I don't say I'm going to do, and it makes it easy for me. So for the most part, I do shrug it off. There were just a few things I saw that as of late that I kind of laughed at, but it's really easy for me. I have selective hearing. You start saying some things I don't agree with or, I don't like, I'll just turn it off. Simple as that.
Now, Sean, is he familiar with you from the amateurs? Does he know all that you've done and how big you were as an amateur?
Well, he's very familiar with me because, I'm from Cleveland. He's from Cincinnati. I fought a lot of his teammates. A lot of the guys that he grew up training with, I beat down. So he's very familiar with me. You go up to the national level. Even when he wasn't there, his coaches were there, and so was his teammates. So he's very familiar with everything that I can bring to the ring. And I think after being a pro as long as I have, I'm sure he's seen enough of my fights to know that he's got a handful June 20th.
So, Ken, how has this been for you? When you got this phone call, how excited were you? And, how much thought, I guess, went into accepting a fight at 144?
I'm not excited. I don't get excited about stuff like this. It's, we need to get the guy to sign a piece of paper and, we need to get him to show up for June 20th because him signing is not enough. He might get locked up before then. One of his baby mamas might pull out on him and hit him with a car. Anything could happen to him. So, we can't get excited about Adrian Bronner. The excitement happens during the fight. So we got to get him there first.
So how much of a worry is this? I mean, I was out there obviously, and I know that Sean was already at 157. But is there any worry that we see, like what we seen with Amir Mansour Friday night? He lost all this weight, and he had no power.
I didn't watch Amir Mansour. I don't know nothing about that. 30 days prior to this fight, Sean will be 154 and strong. That's 10 pounds to the fight weight. It's just another level for us, Anything and everything we do starts in our minds, and these guys can't deal with that because they don't have that intelligence. They don't get that kind of conversation or information from their trainers and their coaches to be passed on to them. He wouldn't be able to understand the things that I'm saying to him if I was saying what I say to Sean to get the results that I get from Sean. So Sean is already focused on that. He's already taken care of that, as he said this morning, going for a bike ride. After that, going for a run, and after that, another bike ride. He's already doing the things that he needs to do to be successful. The rest of it just is like extra. Putting in the game plan, getting off the few pounds that have to come off. He's eating 4 times a day right now. We hope to have him at some point this week up to 6, eating 6 times a day and being strong. So I don't know what Amir went through or what other people go through. I can't, divulge the things that we do to make this work for us. It's not my job to do that unless somebody wants to pay me. Beyond that, I want to see everybody be successful, but I can't pull them to the side and say, hey, man, you should do this or you should do that, because it might create a problem for them. So it works for us. We're already in motion. We're already ready. I say today we got 41 days into the weigh-in. So he just needs to sign, and he just needs to be there.
Ken, is this the quintessential fight that's won in the gym? I mean, Sean said it best, I think. It's skills versus incredible physical talent. But is this the kind of fight where, not that it's taken lightly, but where the things that y'all do before fight night are the things that win y'all the fight?
No, it's the things that we've done throughout our entire life that bring us to this point. Everybody sees you on that Friday night or that Saturday night, and they say, ooh, ah. But this kid's been doing what he's doing since he's 4 years old. He's been prepping for this particular night. Adrian was on the undercards of our amateur shows when Sean was the main event. Adrian was our sparring partner when we got ready to fight Ray Robinson. Adrian's seen what we've done to all the guys that we did that to. He saw that. So he was the kid sitting there watching that. So as we get a little closer to this fight, if we can get this kid to sign this piece of paper and show up, we're going to divulge a lot more of that information, because it's going to make him have to stand up and be the person that he really thinks he is, or he wants everybody to think he is. But you can't do that with Chris Brown. Can't do that with the hip-hop music. Can't do that with the tattoos or anything else. You got to actually get in there and do that with us. So we'll see. But it's not just going to be, what happens the night before the fight or the week of the fight or even this next 6 weeks. It's going to be what he's made of, what his foundation is, what Sean is made of from the day that I brought him into this world to where I got him at today. And if that fight changes, if someone else has to come up and step up and be that guy that night, we'll be prepared for him too. It doesn't matter who it is. But we taking June 20th MGM Grand main event, that belongs to us. So Adrian, he can step aside if he wants to. That's up to him. But somebody come up in there that night and get that ass whooped.
Now, is there enough level of respect between the two camps that we won't see Adrian Broner putting Sean in like the Undertaker chokehold?
He know better to go near my kid, man. I owe him something for 2003 in Texas. He know what that is. That's on the basketball court. We got history.
Okay.
I do this for free. I don't have to get paid for it. He know not to go nowhere near my kid until he step in that ring.
All right, because I know in the Emmanuel Taylor it was a little bit of choking going on, and the other one too. What was the other kid's name? Mario. He was Mexican.
I don't remember. I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember his name.
Eloy Perez.
Eloy Perez. There you go. Yeah, the dude that failed cocaine test.
Yeah. There was 2 choking incidents with Adrian Broner at weigh-ins. But listen, guys, I know you were short for time. I'm glad you were able to give us some time. And we hope that he signs, man. I think that's a very big fight right there that would definitely put the winner in a good position.
Yeah, you know what? And I related it to somebody the other day. I said, when you're a big-time criminal, on the Fed level, and you got money, and you step in there to see the judge, he tell you, okay, sir, go take care of your personal business and take care of your home life and your wife and your kids and say goodbye to everybody. You got to report on June the 20th. He don't want to sign that piece of paper because he don't want to report on June the 20th.
So you think he doesn't want this fight? I mean, let's make this clear. That's what it sounds like.
Oh, no, he don't want the fight. It's not him asking for the fight. It's not him asking for the fight. You see, MGM Grand, NBC TV are demanding that they have a big fight on that night. And it just so happens that we're prepared to fight anybody on that night. So it doesn't matter if he doesn't show up. But that's not something that he wants. He don't want to have to turn himself in on June the 20th.
Ken, do you feel like he backed himself into a corner with, like, the kind of fights that he's taken up till now, that now, like, they are going to put him in the doghouse with Sean? Like, he kind of brought this upon himself?
Yeah, that definitely is part of it. That's definitely part of it. I had some conversations and some phone calls quite a few months back. I mean, well, actually a couple of years back, saying, hey, you know what? That's not a good idea to put him in there with Maidana. Let us take the fight. And they go, oh, no, he's going to win the fight. I said, no, he's not, man. Don't put him in there with Maidana. We'll take that fight. And they said, no. I said, okay. And it didn't work out for him that night, And it's not something that, we're going to run around and try to, get it, politic for. But, since they came, since the business came, since MGM Grand came, since NBC came and said, we want a big fight June 20th, we're already prepared to go. Adrian happens to be their guy. Let's get it done.
I'm excited, man. I can't wait. That's going to be awesome.
Well, Ken, again, thank you for the time, and I hope that when you guys get this, you could come on here and make it official, and we'll see whether or not he ran away from this one.
We're looking forward to it.
All right.
Thanks for the time, man.
Anytime, Sean. You know it, man, and keep doing what you're doing over there.
Yeah, I'm working hard, man. I'm feeling good too, so everything's going smoothly.
All right, guys. So let's get back to this weekend's fights. We talked a little bit about Canelo, Kirkland. I brought up Amir Mansour a few times. The scholar has fooled us. Amir Mansour, I wasn't impressed. And this is a guy with a really good underdog story, someone you could get behind and you could root for. But he wouldn't put it together. He was just throwing punches to be active. They weren't landing. The hook, that left hook was so far from hitting Joey. And look, and I told you guys Joey was pretty skilled, but he lacked power. And I believe the analogy I used was Andy Ruiz with less power.
Yes, that was perfect.
But I got to even take that back, because at least Andy Ruiz is active. He throws punches. Joey was sitting back waiting for the counter.
But he was being skillful, like you said. That's what you said. That was your point.
He was, but he in this particular fight, he needed to let his hands go, and he didn't. And Mansour got the win, but it's not like, before this fight, I wouldn't have minded if a guy like Wilder got a Mansour fight. Like, I know he's still on that learning curve. We know that. So, but not after this performance. This doesn't scream Wilder. And Brian Jennings, maybe somebody would have said, oh, well, they're both from Philly. They could do it. No, they're not from Philly anyway. Jennings is, Mansour's from Delaware, but he already said no to us. Like, I don't know if I put the video out or not, but he was like, no disrespect to either one of them guys, but they not on my level. I'm going for title shots. And I respect him for that because, you know, he did better than a lot of Klitschko opponents.
No, he did. And, you know, I was literally watching this fight at one point thinking, why didn't I pick Joey? I should have picked Joey because I said it on air. I wanted to pick Joey. He looked so good. I'll tell you what, Amir won the fight, but Joey won the lasting impression, in my opinion. And, yeah, he had a flawed performance, and he definitely wilted towards the end. But, damn, he caught Mansour with some big shots, didn't he? I mean, he just checked him on a couple occasions. He almost got that knockdown, and it was really close for his glove touching, Amir's glove to touch. But Joey impressed the hell out of me. Look, I saw the weigh-in photos. I saw Joey's body, and I saw Amir Mansour's body. And I was like, this dude's going to get crushed. And then everybody starts talking. Teddy starts talking about, you know, the fact that he was 22 pounds less than he was the fight before, 21 pounds. Everybody was talking about how is he going to be weight drained. Eddie Chambers was on Twitter saying things like that. Not that he was weight drained, but that, you know, there had to be some explanation, either a diet cut or he could have left it in the gym. And Joey took, I think, as much advantage as he could, and it was a skillful attempt.
Well, just to touch on the weight thing, right? I don't know if you guys follow Mansour or not, but his trainer that taught him how to box in prison while serving an 8-year federal prison bid was released. So that guy came out and was training him for this fight, and that could be the reason. Like,
yeah,
you know, his first big training camp.
He was 210 pounds now. I mean,
yeah,
the guy's 40 years old, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, for a 40-year-old man to be losing that sort of weight is a bit strange. I mean, I'm not accusing anyone of anything here, but you know, definitely have to look at his drug record because, you know, to lose that sort of weight, you know, he's got to be taking some diet and sort of stuff. So that'd be interesting. But he's an old man. I mean, I know the scholar likes him. He's been saying about him but you know, this guy was never going to go anywhere. If you're not known at 40 years old, you know, by the casual, you know, it's over for you. You know, the guy, he hasn't got any good wins. He's just a basic fighter with a good punch. And like I said, I like the scholar, but I'll give you guys a bit of betting advice. Whoever the scholar picks, pick the other guy to win.
Well, I mean, listen, this is a guy that we've been watching. I mean, we've watched him come up. Any hardcore fan has watched him come up after his release. You know, he's did a few NBC when Kathy Duva had it, and he earned his way. You know what I mean? He got a fight. This was supposed to be a showcase fight, you know, something to get him a bigger fight. And I don't think it impressed. I mean, how easier could they put it for you? Like, I know Joey's slick, but he's got 7 knockouts. Like,
yeah, and the thing is, Nesta, like I said, Mansour's a muscly guy. He was never a fat guy. I can understand if a fat guy lost all that weight. You know, so something's not right. You know, I don't know the ins and outs of the training camp, but 210 is too light at heavyweight these days. You know,
he looks shredded though.
Sorry,
he looked shredded though, Stuart.
He was shredded. He was.
Yeah, and they're too shredded. And look, all the great heavyweights. All of them had a bit of flab on their little. You know.
Yeah.
Some of them heavyweights some of the best heavyweights in the world look terrible shape. So it's not all about muscle. You know,
yeah, you're right.
Muscle can be a hindrance, and his age as well. I just thought, you know, caught up with him, and I can't see anything from Mansour to excite me, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, we got to talk about him because he's gonna like he didn't impress, but he didn't. I guess he didn't look bad enough where he's not gonna be able to get a fight. Like, he got the win, so he could be a Wilder opponent. He could be a Klitschko opponent. They're in the heavyweight business right now in America.
Yeah, he really.
Who's gonna want to see Klitschko v Mansour?
No, we've said that so many times, Stuart. There have been people that we never thought would get the fight. They got the fight, and Mansour is as likely, I think, as anyone else at this point. I mean, like, after the Jennings fight, like, can you really expect anything that's going to be, you know, this one final hurrah for Vladimir? I mean, I just don't see it. I think
he's in talks with Fury, though. And
look, and that can be. No, and that could be a good fight, and that could be a fine fight, but we've heard this before, and things fall flat all the time with Fury. I mean, the dude's fought 3 times in 4 years or something like that, or 4 times in 3 years, something like that. Look, maybe that's the fight, fine, but if it ends up being Mansoor, I really don't think that there's anything wrong with it. I think the guy has earned his place. He didn't look good against Joey, but he didn't look terrible either. He did win the fight. I think the biggest problem I had was that he allowed Joey to be slick against him. And it was like at no point did he try to combat that with anything else. I mean, he was throwing his jab from like 9 feet away. I mean, at one point it was like on the other side of on the other side of the ropes. And it was just crazy to me that he was not being aggressive. And when he was being aggressive, he was doing things that were just wasting energy. I mean, just throwing punches that were not going to land, that were not going to hurt him. And then he wasn't standing in front of Joey like what? Joey was going to take him out with one punch? Like, come on. Oh, I'll tell you what, though. Joey did hurt him a couple times, but he was never going to take him out of that fight, and he knew that, and he failed to exploit it, and that's his fault.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. That's the thing with the muscle. I mean, muscle. It takes a lot of energy off you when you're ripped up like that. You haven't got the stamina. I don't care what anyone says. Tim Bradley's a freak. Tim Bradley, he's a one-off. Yeah. How he can fight like that for 12 rounds in that shape, amazing, really. But when you need a bit of body fat for energy, and when you're at that weight, and then he's losing 20-odd pounds, it's no surprise that he was looking weak in there and tired.
Yeah, well, moving on the undercard, DiCarlo Perez versus Jesse Nicklo, another fight that did not impress. So the upset of the weekend is definitely Mike Soro versus Glenn Tapia. I don't even know what to say, because it's not like Glenn Tapia did anything wrong. It's more like Soro was just more accurate and definitely had more, I guess, power, because it was so accurate. Those 2 uppercuts, that left and that right uppercut, was the beginning and the end for Glenn Tapia. But this is an upset, because I think I watched Soro's last fight when he was undefeated. He fought on Showbox. Nothing told me this was going to happen.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, man. Glenn Tapia, you say he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't have any head movement whatsoever. He'd keep it right down the pipe, and Soro was able to, unload on with his hooks and his uppercuts. But I'm happy, because Soro was on my fantasy team. When I saw that, I didn't really know much about Soro. I didn't see him on Showtime. I really thought this was going to be a showcase opponent for Glenn Tapia to just kind of show himself to the world for the first time. But it was a big upset, and he got hurt, and I mean, we got to understand that, like you guys were just talking about muscle, man. This is another kid that just can't handle the muscle on top of his legs. He just gets too gassed too early, and he doesn't have a good chin for, I guess, how little of his head he moves. So, unfortunately, Glenn Tapia is going to sink down, and I don't even know where he would go from here, because now it's twice he's been knocked out. Once by James Kirkland, which isn't much, but we just saw what happened with Canelo and Kirkland. So, I mean, do you give up on Glenn Tapia, let himself rebuild, or do you keep putting him on TV because he could get you an amazing fight?
Well, I mean, there's money to be made with him. Obviously, he's an attraction over there in the East Coast, and he does well. But for me, the writing was on the wall with Soro. And who was the commentator that night? It was Mancini, I think. Ray Mancini said that Soro was staying composed, that even when Glenn Tapia was having success on the offensive side, Soro was staying composed and he was getting his shots off. And Ness said the best word, accurate. That was the thing, is Glenn Tapia at times was throwing combinations that he knew they weren't all going to land. A lot of them were for show, and maybe he planned to land the first, or maybe he planned to land the last, but the rest of them, they have no intention behind them, not at all. And so Soro stayed composed. He didn't let any of those flashy combinations or that flashy movement, not head movement, because I was about to agree with Ness, and you're right, James. The head movement, he was a fucking statue. He was just standing there at one point. It was crazy to me, but Soro's jab was really good. He worked it well behind that, and then the activity, it didn't really overwhelm Glenn Tapia, but it it increased to a point where the accuracy was too much, I think, and he took full advantage of that. You know, I feel bad for Glenn Tapia because I really like him. I think he's fun. I think he's exciting to watch. He seems like a good kid. He's got a real swagger about him, you know, the kind of swagger that I think appeals to a more commercial demographic with the younger audience. But, you know, it is what it is. I think we do give him opportunities to rebound, obviously not showcase fights or nothing, you know, to headline any of the true cards or, you know, God forbid HBO cards, but, you know, you want to throw him on Unimas or whatever Top Rank's got, you know, whatever, I'll watch it, but he definitely deserves a chance to rebound. He's too exciting to just let him unfold this way.
All right, well, everybody got their take on Tapia before we move on and open up these phone lines?
What about Figueroa? You don't want to talk about Figueroa?
Well, no, I'm just making sure. I said before we move on.
All right.
Robbie, what did you think of that upset? Robbie?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
What did you think of the Tapia upset, Robbie?
He must don't. He probably didn't have True TV. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he does. He's got. Don't you got satellite?
Yeah, no. Sorry, guys. I had technical issues on my end, and I realized that I was muted. So because there's a lot I wanted to comment on the Tapia fight. You're absolutely right. I mean, I was impressed with the guy that I didn't know anything about this guy, but he put on a show and. I don't know where Glenn goes from here, and I totally agree with everybody on Amir Mansour. I know the scholar is high on him, but he was not impressive at all. I was not impressed. Yeah, he's probably still going to get a big fight, but he's no threat in the heavyweight division with the way he looked. I realized that he probably needed to lose some weight, but I think he took off way too much.
That was for the Mansour fight?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
All right, so let's just move down these other ones. Like I said, DeCarlo Perez defeated Jesse Nicklo. Shawnee Monahan. I mean, did you guys watch this fight?
Yeah,
yes,
I watched
I did.
All right, so I'm going to let you guys go first.
Mario, go ahead.
You know.
No.
Yeah.
Let Robbie first. Robbie's first.
Go ahead, Robbie.
Robbie's first.
Look, I thought Monahan looked okay, but again, I thought it was a fighter that he should have done more against. I don't think this thing should have went 10 rounds. You know, I looked at these True TV fights and ESPN fights as, you know, showcase events for the people that were supposed to win, and I don't think Shawnee, he won the fight, but I don't think it was necessary for him to go 10 rounds. I would have liked to have seen him got rid of this guy. That's my opinion.
And he didn't even put up the pressure at the end of the day. And that goes to Robbie's point. You're absolutely right. This was a guy that he shouldn't have probably gone 10 rounds with. And even if you do go 10 rounds with him, make it because this guy's a survivor. Make it because this guy's got heart. Make it because you don't have enough power to take out a guy with a really great chin. But you didn't even push the gas at any point, Shawnee. Shawnee was there, and he was kind of just fell into his motions. You know, he was pushing the action a little bit at the very beginning. I thought that he looked as though he would build towards like an eclipse or something, or like he would build towards like this peak moment in the fight, and it just never came. He ended up decreasing a bit, flatline. The activity level went down. His footwork was awful. This guy was throwing like really weird punches from bad angles. I just felt like he wasn't in there to stop him. Exactly like Robbie said. In my opinion, the highlight of the fight was the guys from Impractical Jokers. That was hilarious. You know, the guy doing the round thing, that was really funny. But I just thought Shawnee was boring. I think he stunk up the joint towards the end. But, you know, he got the win. Hopefully it's something that he can grow from. But at the end of the day, he didn't show me anything different than he has in his other fights. In fact, he showed a little less aggression than I've been used to seeing from him.
and I'm going to sound like a hater here, but we've had the True TV thing on for 2 weeks now, and my early impressions are that Al Heyman and Premier Boxing offer more entertaining cards so far than what True TV has to offer. So I think for those of us that are hardcore fans, you know, when we see these fights on TV, we need to understand who's doing the promoting and what kind of fights we're going to get. I think it's Al Heyman is a clear-cut winner so far in what he offers compared to what anybody else offers on these Friday night TV fights.
Maybe Bob's plan is to offer up terrible cards on True so that casual fans that are watching it won't watch the NBC and Spike. Like, oh, I saw this terrible card on True. Now I don't want to watch the terrible cards on Spike. It's like sabotage.
I mean, you know, in one instance, it's kind of fair of Robbie to compare that.
I think so.
That to PBC. But for me, you know, True TV feels more like a
B-side. It's a B-side card for sure. You can't compare NBC and Spike TV to True TV. Spike TV's already had combat sports in the past. It does have that certain demographic where it's going to watch
more money.
Exactly. True TV, with more people that watch that, or like, I guess it would be older people, like not older people, but 45-ish area, you know what I mean, as opposed to the younger generation that watches Spike TV.
But you got to remember, they got the big dogs promoting it on HBO in front of all their boxing public religiously.
Now, what I was comparing it to, guys, is the difference between the True TV cards and the Spike TV cards.
No, I got that.
The Spike TV cards have been better than the True TV cards.
Well, based on name recognition alone, and for anyone who didn't get that analogy, I was saying HBO, obviously when they say their boxing schedule, they mention the True TV cards, like that hideous fight with Jose Benavidez and George Paz Jr. Now, let me tell you something.
That's crazy.
I know George Paz Jr. by accident because he comes. It's like he's like part of the Spanish package. So when you buy like Telemundo and Unimas and all that TV Azteca that I got, right, and BN Sports, this dude, I don't know what channel it is because I watch them all, so I can't tell you if it's BN or Solo Boxeo, but he's on every week. He's fighting every week, this kid. Every week he's fighting, and
he's not lying either.
They're bums. They're bums who he's fighting. He's himself is. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, he made it to HBO. This is fucked. Oh no, that's True TV. But
yeah,
still,
True TV.
But still, he doesn't even merit getting off of Spanish TV yet. He's fighting like the dude that, you know, that gets the lawnmower from the truck, not the actual dude that mows the lawn. You know,
and keep in mind, guys, the only reason why HBO is promoting the True TV thing is because HBO normally shows all top-ranked fighters, and of course this is a top-ranked thing. But
well, they're owned under the same people too, aren't they, Robbie?
Yeah, and not only the two networks are owned by the same people, and not only that, I mean, for us hardcore boxing fans, you watch one or two of these True TV cards, and you're obviously going to look at the Spike cards and go, well, these are better. You know, Al's paying his fighters, and Bob is being cheap here.
Well, I don't think he's being cheap. I just think this is what HBO wanted to do a couple of years ago, and this is just another avenue to build fighters. Like, you know, you can tell that that's how they're using it because they've regressed Jose Benavidez from fighting on HBO to getting on True TV. But again, George Paz should not be fighting. But I mean, that's such a mismatch too. I would say that that's probably like a 10-inch difference. How tall is George Paz?
Man, I don't even know. Like, this dude, he should not be on at all. And you're right. Like, if he's not fighting live, like they're showing like old fights of his, like on replay on Saturdays when they don't got fights. Like, it's crazy.
Well, it's clearly a showcase fight for Benavidez because they're trying to get him to bounce back from the Mauricio Herrera fight. But
yeah, good point.
I actually like the the fight right before that with Antonio Orozco versus Emmanuel Taylor.
Yeah, it's great point.
Orozco is a super great, he's good at pressure. He's going to come forward. He's going to try to make it a fight. And we saw with Adrian Broner, Emmanuel Taylor
Uh-oh.
Afraid about getting inside. So,
James, we lost you there for a second.
Spike TV's actually come out in the UK now. Come out a few weeks ago.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we're getting Spike now. So that's good. I mean,
but do you have to stay up late to get it?
Well, I have to stay up late anyway, don't I, to watch fights?
Yeah,
I just figured they'd set it up on your schedule or something.
No, they're not going to change the schedule for the UK, are they? Let's be real.
Well, you would be on a delay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how it works, but I know we get Spike. We'll get the live boxing.
That's great. That's great.
Awesome.
Well, there you go.
Well, my last point, real quick, is that Ness said it perfectly. He didn't say it directly like this, but he was leading to the fact that True TV is, in a sense, HBO's Showbox. That's what it's going to be, and I'm fine with that. You know, as much boxing as we can take. Guys, look, me and Ness obviously are talking about a guy that's been on Unimos every week. Like, we watch these fights. I was, honestly, you want me to tell you, I was so disappointed that Francisco Rodriguez Jr. got rained out on Saturday. I mean, I was, like, upset about it. You know what I mean? Like, we watch these fights, so another fight. And look, every once in a while we'll get a gem like this because James nailed it. That fight was supposed to be, what was that fight supposed to be on, Ness? Orozco and Taylor. Wasn't that supposed to be on, it was supposed to be on one of the HBO Latino cards. And then Orozco got hurt, and then they
It was supposed to be on the one with Francisco Santana. I mean, not Francisco Vargas.
Yeah, the Francisco Vargas. Yes, exactly. It was the last one on HBO Latino. Anyway, I'm glad they rescheduled it, and James nailed it.
But isn't it a different opponent?
No, they're fighting the same guy.
No, it's a top-ranked guy now. Emmanuel Taylor's fighting a top-ranked guy.
Orozco and Taylor are fighting each other.
Antonio Orozco is a golden boy.
Yeah.
He's been on all the Fox Sports cards and shit like that.
Oh, okay.
Antonio Orozco and Taylor are still fighting. Yeah, it's great. I mean,
it's a good fight. I like that fight.
I enjoyed the PBC card. I mean, a few people getting a bit stiff, but I thought it was a good night of boxing. I mean, after what we got last week, I mean, it was chalk and cheese, really, wasn't it? So.
Well, we'll get into that right now since you went into it because I'm a guy that, man, you know, Omar's my guy. He's my guy, but he is not learning. He looked worse than James Kirkland in terms of technical. I mean, he's just bad, dude. He's bad, and those punches, he's not getting any leverage on those 7, 8, 9 left hooks that he lands or right punch. I mean, they're horrible. He comes in with his face. What's going on with this kid? Ricky Burns looked phenomenal to me, and it's a real shame that this referee, which I'm not giving any shit to. I'm sorry. Too many times do we sit here and we ask a referee to get involved when there's excessive holding, and that
was the worst refereeing performance.
There was excessive holding.
Hands down.
Don't even go there, Nez.
There was excessive holding.
Getting involved.
Excessive holding
in the fight. It was like a triangle in there.
Three
guys in the ring fighting, or 2 against 1. Because I had grabbing a guy's hand when he's trying to defend.
Well, he grabbed both of their hands. He grabbed both of the hands. I would admit that he was a little more. I would admit that he was a little more aggressive with Ricky Burns, but he was the one doing the holding. He was the one doing the holding.
Dude, I get that 100%, but this dude kept coming into the shot. Like, he was so close to them that they almost stepped on him so many times. And every once in a while, he would throw the hand down, and Figueroa would come over on the right side and try to hit him from that pot. He understood. I had to watch this fight 3 times because when he was at his worst,
about 4 times, and he was open to hooks. I mean, that's dangerous. This guy should be investigated. It's dangerous
I'm serious. Hold on, Ness.
He warned him. He warned him to stop holding. He warned him. So
I get that.
Listen, every time that he pulled his arm down, remember, he could have took a point. Every time, because he already warned him. Then he gave him a second stern warning. And then after that, after he took a point, he kept taking the arm down. So those were point deductions right there that he saved them from. He
should have been doing it.
Well, I remember that when Ward's fighting Paul Smith.
Let's hope that Ward gets this referee. Let's hope.
No, fuck that. I never want to see Lawrence Cole.
Hold on a minute, Robbie. Go ahead, James. We kept cutting James off. I'm sorry.
That's all good. I'm just saying I never want to see Lawrence Cole again. I was trying to make this point earlier, and this is no joke. I watched this fight 3 times because both times in the middle rounds, I was so pissed off about what Cole was doing. I was more focused in on him. I couldn't tell you. It was the word. I can't believe you would even say. He should have started taking the fucking points away. He was on top of the fighters the entire time. But I don't want to take that shine off of Ricky Burns, because Ricky Burns came into this fight prepared for Omar Figueroa. Figueroa did not come into this fight prepared for anyone. He came into this fight to try to fight exactly how he always does, shoe shining, trying to get shots. The moment Ricky Burns realized these punches were landing, but there was zero power on him because he couldn't get any leverage, he decided to stay on the inside and give himself a break. A lot of fighters do this. When they're getting tired, they get inside because the power shots aren't as much, and then they start slowly backing out and then throwing counter punches like we saw Burns do in this fight.
That's
I thought
not
he was
what I've
sharper.
seen.
Hold on. And then I also gave him both point deductions, and I still had Ricky Burns winning this fight. I had it by 1 round.
You're insane.
Yeah,
I had him.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
Dude, you got to give me your scorecard then.
Look, at the end of the
Yo,
day,
this guy forgot to take his meds.
At the end of the day, Ness said the most. Ness said the biggest thing here that should be the underlining factor. Actually, both Ness and James said one thing each. Ness said that Figueroa is failing to get better, and it's a trend now. It's no longer, oh, maybe he's got some issue, a weight issue or whatever. No, this is a trend. He's starting to do things that are almost regressing or like showing regression. You know what I mean? Like he's not even looking as good as he did 4 or 5 fights ago. And then James said the other thing that was actually, I'm going to give James credit, because James one of the few people last week that actually gave Ricky Burns any sort of chance, and Ricky Burns was winning this fight to start. He came in to win this fight. He did not come in to lose this fight, and maybe he was pumped up by what Anthony had said to him, but look, I'll tell you right now, he was on top of his shit. He didn't come in to be the small guy like everybody said. He was not the small fighter at all.
He was big.
Figueroa was, I mean, God, this dude is running out of excuses. Like, I expected him to be bullying Ricky Burns inside, and there was times where Ricky Burns was bullying him. I mean, let's be honest, Lawrence Cole was bullying both of them for both of them, but at the end of the day, my biggest thing, look, Omar Figueroa winning the fight, the scores were a little closer than, I think 116-112 was one of the scores. I don't remember. But anyway, the scores were a little closer than that. I thought that it was an okay fight for Omar to win for 2 reasons. One, because it was in Omar's hometown, and he was fighting Ricky Burns, the person who's robbed so many people of shots in his country.
That shouldn't matter. That shouldn't matter.
No, and it shouldn't, but at the end of the day, karma is something that happens at the end of the day. So I felt like it was a fair win, but at the end of the day, I also felt like Ricky Burns did not maintain. He did not continue. He allowed Figueroa's bullshit to kind of take the stage of the fight. It was activity levels is really what it was. It wasn't smart. It wasn't strategy. It wasn't athleticism. It was just the fact that he just kept throwing punches like a wild man. He stole that 11th round. I think Ricky Burns stole the 12th round, and I still had it like a 1-point lead for Omar, maybe 2 points. But if it wasn't for the point deductions, it would have been a lot. It would have been a lot trickier.
Like I said, I'm going to put in on this one because I've been saying for a couple of years on this show that Omar Figueroa is trash. I've been saying it. The guy has got nothing. You know, he is a poor man's Brandon Rios, and that's being kind to him. Listen,
on
at the end of the day,
Thursday,
Ricky Burns was the one doing the better stuff in there. He was jab. He was working. He was doing more of the work. A lot of that work that Figueroa was doing, he was just grabbing hold of him and rabbit punching. I mean, no education behind the work. You just head down, steamroll, and throw what you can at. And Burns. You got to remember, Burns is a smaller guy. Figueroa didn't even make weight. The guy couldn't even be bothered to make weight. Another Al Heyman fighter that fails to make weight. I mean, they just make this camp are making a mockery of boxing, but that's for another day. So Burns is going in there with all the disadvantages. You know, he's away from home. He's got a guy that hasn't made weight. He's got a ref that's paid. He's got judges that's paid. And he went in there and gave a great account of himself. But I'm just disappointed that that was allowed to go on in boxing. Ricky Burns was fighting 2 men in the ring, not one. I mean, Ricky Burns is lucky he didn't get hurt because a bigger puncher with that ref, Ricky Burns could have been in a hospital bed tonight. So he definitely needs to be investigated. Disgraceful refereeing, disgraceful judging. I had Ricky Burns winning. I liked his work better. A lot of Figueroa's work was just messy. But at the end of the day, I know at the end of the day that Al Heyman Fighters is going to win that. You're going to have to stretch one of them boys out of there, mate. You're going to have to stretch him out of there. And Ricky Burns don't know
Badu Jack didn't have to stretch anybody out.
Yeah, well, I was very look, on Thursday I was convinced that Figueroa was going to kill Burns, and I was very impressed with what Ricky was able to do. I would like to see this fight rematched anywhere but Texas.
You know, I don't even want to see a rematch because, to be honest with you, Figueroa's style to me is growing really old. It's kind of like Leo Santa Cruz, where it's like, it's an exciting fight, don't get me wrong, he's throwing a lot of punches, but it's nothing new. And at the same, if Figueroa gets in there with a higher caliber opponent, that's when I want to see it. I don't want to see these sidesteps anymore because I thought Ricky Burns did good. I gave him the fight, in fact, but I don't think that Ricky Burns is a world beater at 140. That's just what I'm speaking to about, I guess, Omar Figueroa. Like you said, he's very sloppy. He is who he is, and the moment he gets in there that someone doesn't allow him to do that, I don't think we're going to see the Figueroa that we've been past the scene with the power and all that, but I don't know, man. I actually personally thought after the McDonald and Kameda fight, they might actually allow Figueroa to lose this fight, but I was shocked because I had McDonald winning that fight too with the exact same score of the judges. So I like that they got it right in that fight because that was another fight where I thought the A side was going to rip off the B side.
And can I just, do you know that fight, that card, we missed Jamie McDonald in a world title fight. In a fight that I thought was a very good fight. Nez didn't like it, he told me he hated it, but I thought it was a very technical, very good fight. Really enjoyed it. And
I said that I personally
we didn't get a chance to see that because Eddie Hearn has got some trash card in Birmingham where actually Anthony Joshua's beating some guy from fucking some rock band and we've got interviews with Frankie Gavin on while Jamie McDonald is fighting. So I had to go on a stream and watch one of our fighters fighting a world title fight. Absolutely disgraceful, but that's Eddie Hearn for you.
Yo, but I'll tell you, I do deserve some crow because not only did I say Kameda was gonna beat McDonald, I actually in fact said he was gonna beat the shit out of him, and I was right for the first 4 rounds. But boy, did that turn around quickly. That dude's got a
great fight.
Well, we all deserve crow because I picked Kameda too, but
Me too.
I thought he won the fight, man. I thought he won the fight, but
it was close.
It was a boring fight to me. Both jockeying for distance. Their jabs were like a foot from the target. It was ridiculous. But here we go.
This is the hypocrisy with you, Nez. I mean, you live what Floyd does. Floyd will throw 5 punches.
Floyd's jab lands, man. It lands. Kameda's jab wasn't landing, and neither was McDonald. They were just throwing the jab to keep each other away. You kidding me?
There was some real good work in there.
There were some good exchanges at the end. Those guys went to war at the end, man.
Kameda was fast as hell with his combinations. He got in, got out. But when he wasn't, Jamie McDonald kept him on the outside. Then he started coming forward. Yeah, then he started coming out the inside and pulling. I thought Jamie McDonald looked really well, and like I said, I had the fight the exact. I had the first 4 for Kameda, including the knockdown, and then from there on out, fucking McDonald took over that fight. I thought he was done.
I think Kameda's problem is he's stuck in between fighting like a Mexican and fighting like a Colombian.
I just don't think he has the pop.
I love his Spanish. His Spanish is so.
Oh, it's
perfect.
good. It's crazy.
Perfect.
Like he starts talking, and I'm like freaking out because he speaks Spanish as well as anyone I've ever heard. Yep. Like it's crazy.
It's amazing.
I meant Cuban, by the way. Yeah, because didn't he get trained by a Cuban or something as well?
I don't know, but I just want to give my final thoughts before we move on this Omar Figueroa and Ricky Burns fight. I seen it much like you guys. I still felt Omar did enough to win with the 2-point deductions. I think that Ricky Burns was obviously more crisper. His punches were more accurate. But he couldn't take the pressure. He could not take the pressure. Those point deductions, it wasn't a bad referee. It wasn't the referee being too involved. It's absolutely not true because there was point deductions. There was holding. And you have to look at it like this. Every time that he pulled the glove for those guys like Stewart that don't like that, well, that was a point deduction. It was a point deduction because he
should have done it though.
He just took it. But then the fight is over. Then the fight is over.
No, because then the fighter stops doing it. No, the fighter stops doing it, and then he does it earlier. And then if you want to talk about point deductions, it wasn't just the wording.
Listen, after 2, James, but listen, after 2, you got to be disqualified on the 3rd one, dude. That's just the way it works. I mean, I don't know if it's a rule, but normally it's like that. It's like, okay, intentional foul, you got a point. Another intentional foul, all right, you're disqualified. Like, that's the way it works.
No, you're like the boxing.
You're driving down the
boxing equivalent of a traffic warden, just waiting to pick something wrong with someone to get them out, to get them disqualified.
Listen,
I mean,
no. What I am is not a hypocrite, and I'm not gonna be bitching at other referees that don't take points for holding, and then get mad at a referee for taking points for a guy who was obviously excessively holding because he could not take the pressure.
Yeah, I see that point.
Yo, but what?
I don't agree, but I see it.
Yo,
what you're not seeing though is that you're saying,
Stuart, hold on, James. I'm gonna give you the floor right now, Stuart. This is your opportunity to show that you're an honest man. Are you going to say the amount of holding that you've seen in Figueroa fucking Burns is equivalent to any Floyd fight for you to even say that I think it's okay for Floyd to hold? Is it equivalent? Please answer.
Different style of fight.
Is it equivalent? Is it equivalent? Is it equivalent? Is it equivalent?
What else can you do when a guy's charging in? It's a self-defense.
Yeah.
Holding. It should be. I had no problem. I had no problem with Floyd Mayweather's holding in that fight with Pacquiao, because I know that's the rules and that's how fighters defend themselves. But you can't sit here and say, oh, well, they should be disqualified, yet Floyd gets a pass.
Dude,
that's my point.
Ricky Burns was excessively holding, man.
Figueroa was great. If you look at closely, Figueroa was instigating a lot of that holding. He was actually grabbing hold of
it. Was absolutely his fault because the dude has no sense of distance. Every time he throws one or two punches, his chest is already on someone else's chest. It looks absolutely horrible. I'm not defending him. But that doesn't matter because the minute that the chest to chest hits or his head is on Ricky Burns' chest, there was times when Ricky Burns did have energy that he would duck down low, rip a couple of shots to the body, you know, do a jab in the right hand to the head while Figueroa had his head down. He looked good, but when his energy zapped, he began to hold. So don't lie. Don't lie.
I don't think anyone's denying the fact that he wasn't holding. One,
right, so then you can't be mad at the ref. You can't be mad at the ref then.
Why can't I be mad at the ref?
Because you're admitting that there was excessive holding.
I do. I understand that. But if you start taking the points away, you're driving down the road, you speed. What happens? No cops. The moment a cop comes, you get your speeding ticket, then you start slowing down for a little bit. That's what happens. He kept getting warned. But then also at the same time, Figueroa didn't get warned for shit.
He took 2 points, man. He took 2 points.
I understand. Dude, but you keep saying that, earlier in the fight, he should have been disqualified. Why? Because he didn't get
No, you misunderstood me. What I'm saying is, I was saying after 2 warnings, isn't the third one a disqualification is what I asked.
That is correct.
You get 2 points taken away for the same thing. Your third one is a disqualification.
All right, then. So what you want me to do?
One, though?
Listen, after the first point deduction, how many times would you say, and Stuart, since you have the biggest problem with it, give me your number. How many times after the first point deduction would you say Lawrence Cole smacked Ricky Burns' hand down off of Figueroa when he was trying to hold?
Too many to count.
Figueroa was doing the same shit.
I didn't ask you that.
He got rabbit punches, low blows, all that shit.
I asked you a question. How many times would you say he took his arm off of Figueroa? Between that point.
15, 20 times.
All right, then. So
I don't know what you want for me to do. What I'm saying is that he was an over.
I'm asking you. Did you want him to every time say, "Hey, stop holding. Hey, stop holding"? Okay, another point. I mean, the fight would have been over. Your guy is excessively holding. If you're saying you seen him pull one arm off of him about 15 times, think about that for a fucking second, dude. It's only 12 rounds.
Yeah, but do you understand the concept of if you have one arm free, you're supposed to fight your way out of it? That's why I'm saying this isn't a traditional hold where he was wrapping him up, pinning him against the rope, and putting his head out.
You seen Ricky Burns fighting with one arm is what you're about to lie and say.
I still so many fucking times he did that. What are you talking about?
But it doesn't matter if you fight with that one arm. If you have one arm free, it's not technically a hold that needs to be broken.
And that's why Lawrence Cole was taking his arm off.
What you keep going around, though, and that you're not talking about, is that Omar Figueroa was holding himself, no warnings. He got a few for pushing down the head. Then he gave, in one round, I counted at least 15 rabbit punches. All he was doing was same shit, and he never got warned. He was an over-involved ref in the sense that you shouldn't be ripping his hands down. That's just... It seemed like to me that dude wanted to be fucking on TV, and that's why that pissed me off. But I do think it was a shitty performance. He was being stepped on. He was being stepped on because he was too close. And yes, you do break them up if you're going to break them up. How many times in that fight did you hear him go, "Whoa, break up, go to touch him," and then step away, and then Ricky Burns drop his hands and get hit? It kept happening. He wasn't taking control of the fight. And like you said, he should have taken points away earlier, and maybe it would have stopped the holding in the long run, or maybe he would have got disqualified, whatever. I can't justify him holding, but what I could justify is that shitty referee was doing a shitty job in, I guess, a fight that was pretty – it was rough. It was an inside fight. There was a lot of dirty tactics going on. He was not the referee that should be in that ring managing something like that.
Keep one thing in mind, guys. He did not want to disqualify anybody. This was on national TV.
I don't think it was about national TV. I think it was just about not ruining the show. And Ricky Burns was part of ruining the show. No one likes clinching. That's why Vladimir Klitschko isn't popular. Come on. You guys want to act like this is something new? I mean, I seen a dude excessively clinching. I seen a dude that couldn't take pressure. I also seen a dude that was very sharp, and when he had energy, he was beating Figueroa up. But he didn't have any power. Neither one of them could hurt each other.
Can't fight on the back foot now, he even struggles to throw a jab on the back foot.
That's his own problem. That's his own problem because he knew
covers up, and that's the problem.
That's his own fault because he knew he was getting in there with a ram. All Figueroa does is come forward.
Yeah, and he beat that ram. So
no, he didn't. No, he didn't.
What was your scorecard? What's your score? What did you score it?
I don't think I finished scoring it because it was just too bullshit. But I'm gonna tell you, in the beginning, I had Ricky Burns up in the beginning.
So did I. I had him up by 2 points with the deductions. But, Ricky Burns, like I said, is not a world beater. Figueroa's not a world beater. But when Figueroa comes charging at you like a bull, what else can you do? He comes in with his head. Paul Malignaggi and the commentating team, sometimes I don't agree with them, but on this night, not only were they giving the ref shit like I thought they should be, they were also talking about how the jockeying for position and what you saw as holding was a little bit different. It was a phone booth fight. This is the quintessential phone booth fight, and that's what we got. And sometimes it's exciting, sometimes it's not. This one I felt was a little bit more exciting, but I don't know. I didn't see it holding like how Klitschko was holding Jennings or how other people in the past. Even Brooke versus Porter was different than his holding. This was different. But like I said, there was a lot wrong in this fight that should have been handled.
I don't even have it.
I'm not trying to say Burns was, I guess, a saint in this fight, but neither was Figueroa. And that's the type of fight it was.
All right. Well, for those that care, like we said, McDonald defeated Tomoki Kameda. Austin Trout defeated Luis Galarza.
He looked good in those highlights.
Fedor Chudnikov beat Felix Sturm. Finally, someone beat him. And Jose Ramirez beat Robert Frankel by 5th round KO. Let's get to these calls. We got a lot of them. 6, 7, 8, you're up.
Hey, man. Look, it's the milkman. Now, I love y'all, but y'all been talking about some bullshit, all right? What y'all need to be talking about is how I need to change my name from the milkman to motherfucking Nostradamus. Didn't I tell y'all in 3 rounds, Kirkland will go down? Just tell me that.
You did.
Well, you were wrong. You were wrong. He went down in the 1st round.
You know what? Hey, you know what I mean, man. Now, what I have done, I have solidified myself as one of the pound-for-pound callers of the Boxing Voice, and I deserve an intro.
Oh, he wants an intro.
This is self-proclaimed at this point right here.
We'll give you an intro if you change your name to Ice Cream Man so we can use Master P.
Strap me up. Strap me up. All right? Now, Ness, you know I'm a vet, man. You know where I come from. You've been listening to me a long time. I need my intro, man.
All right, we're gonna cook something up for you.
I told everybody Canelo was gonna slice his ass up. Hey.
Yeah, but this was an easy fight. This was an easy fight to make a pick, man. Everybody's gonna want an intro if it's like that.
No. See, what people don't realize, I said round 3. He's out of there in round 3. Ain't no, between 1 and 7, 10 and 11. I said round 3, and the shit came to be. Matter of fact, I'm going to change my name from the Milkman to Milkstradamus. All right? It's going to be Milkstradamus. All right? So what I'm telling you is I've been rocking with Canelo a long time. Because, see, a lot of times you got to look at not really who the person is fighting. I mean, that's important, but you got to look at how people fight, right? So I knew something was special about this kid a long time ago. He kind of reminds me of a Mexican kid that grew up around black people when it comes to fighting. He's a little bit slicker than a typical Mexican. And I like the way he handles himself in the ring. So Canelo's my dude. He did what I thought he was going to do specifically. And I just need my intro, baby. Strap me up, all right?
All right, brother. Yeah, that's only people that that watch Floyd fight Manny or the epilogue know what that strap me up is. But he was right. Third round, man, he called it. No crow for him. 559, you're up.
Yo, what's good, Jay? What's going on?
What up, Jay?
Hey, is Jamie McDonald with Heyman or no?
I don't think so. I think he's Eddie Hearn.
He's not, right? Okay,
Stewart.
so I guess you don't got to stretch out. You don't got to stretch Heyman fighter to get the
That's what I was saying earlier. I was
angry
with him that
over Kameda, and Kameda's a Heyman fighter.
he wasn't there for Jamie McDonald. He was there with his lover boy, Anthony Joshua. I mean, this guy, it's ridiculous. I mean, I love Anthony Joshua. I think he's going to be the next heavyweight champion of the world for many years. But Eddie Hearn's love for him is getting pretty ridiculous, and he should have been in America, for a world title fight. Instead, he's putting on a bum fest in Birmingham.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Obviously, the quality of fights is better in America than what he put out in the UK. But anyways, I actually agree with James. I didn't have Burns winning, but I had Burns winning 7 rounds, and with a 2-point deduction, I had that fight a draw. But hey, end of the day, the scorecards are terrible. But as they say, karma, man. This motherfucker Ricky Burns has had the worst scorecards in recent memory, especially against Beltran. So it's all good. I thought he won, a close one, but it was a tight fight. But I thought he deserved the decision. Not mad at it too much though. So it wasn't much of a fight, man. I didn't really like it. Kameda started out well as a good, when he started at the beginning of the fight, man, I said, damn, this guy's pretty damn skilled. But I don't know, man. As the fight went on, he didn't really do much. So I can see why he didn't get the decision. And then, and another thing, man, what y'all think about Freddie Roach's fighter, Tapia missing weight, freaking Frankie Gomez missing weight? You think maybe he was just spending too much time with Pacquiao this camp and not paying attention to fighters, or what's the deal with that?
Nah, I don't think it had anything to do with Pacquiao because Gomez, he's been a problem from the very beginning. Ever since they signed this kid, he's had all types of issues. I think he's been arrested before. He spent a year inactive. He allegedly came back, and he was supposed to fight Chop. All his fights get rescheduled. He was supposed to fight Chop at once. Every time he's about to fight somebody, he never does. There's always something on his end, too. They say he's got a world of talent, but it's hard to get it out of him because he doesn't like the gym.
Yeah, man. According to Roach, man, he owns every fighter in the gym. Even fighters from other gyms that come in, he owns them. But yeah, it is bad, man. He's gonna waste his career. He is a damn good fighter, dude. But Roach has a little curse going on right now, man. I guess we should be a little scared of Cotto against Gill.
He's just taking L's, man.
Canelo and Kirkland. I mean, I'll be honest. I thought this was gonna go round. I picked Canelo stopping him late, but we didn't really see much in this fight, man. We already know that Kirkland doesn't have a great chin. He gets hit. But I wanted to see Canelo in a dogfight, how his stamina was going to hold up. He looked a little gassed in the second round. He started taking breaks in the ropes. I mean, it's not too bad of a thing, but, we don't really know. What did we learn from Canelo? Nothing. He's a solid puncher. He's a good counter puncher. That's the thing. He always looks bad when he's going up against other counter punchers that are a little quicker than him. That's why Lara made him look stupid in spots. Floyd made him look stupid in spots. So unless he beats a guy like Andrade, we're really not going to learn anything about him, man. We can't say he's improved or not. But the Cotto fight and Canelo, you got two boxer punchers. Cotto could attack a little better, but how do you see that fight going, James? Do you think it's just going to be a tactical fight, or you think Cotto's actually going to bring it to him?
You asked James, but James off. But honestly, I think that at the end of the day, what we saw from last night, it doesn't make a difference. Cotto can and will box circles around Canelo at times in the fight. We will see Cotto have a lot of success for a stretch of time. I think that it's going to come down to how big Canelo is going to be by the time they fight. Canelo's size is becoming a much bigger factor than I ever would have anticipated. And to go with the Milkman's point, he's got a real slick style. I don't think we saw it as much as we've seen it in the past last night, but he does. He has a real slick style, and that can compete with Cotto's ability to move. But I just think that it's a pretty even fight right now. The only thing that would tip the scales, in my opinion, would be if Canelo's punches are counting more than Cotto's, depending on how big they both are come fight night.
I think Canelo Alvarez will always deal with someone in front of him brawling. I mean, because Canelo Alvarez is a fantastic counter puncher, and he has every punch in the book. And he throws it at world-class level. I really like this guy. I mean, I think he will do a right number on Cotto. Cotto's just too old. He just, you know, Cotto is going to have a horrible night, I'm afraid. I mean, this kid he is the goods.
Yeah, I think it's a 50-50 fight like everyone else is saying.
Is his future, and that's where he should start campaigning from now on. No more of these, you know, catchweight situations. I want to see the Cotto fight because Cotto has as much experience, you know, in the ring as Floyd Mayweather does, and I think Canelo is going to have to deal with somebody who's been in the ring more than he has, and I think it's going to be an interesting fight. I can't wait to see it. That's why I want Cotto to take care of business against Gil, although Gil is not going to be easy. But I hope Cotto wins because we definitely want to see that fight. I think that fight's going to bring out a lot in Canelo because he's finally going to deal with somebody like a Mayweather who has more experience, and he's going to be able to show this kid, hey, these are things you still have to work on, and I think that'll be the difference here. That's why I hope it happens.
And I think it's a great fight too because we talk.
Both fighters, you know, the guys you struggle with, like Canelo, he struggles with the guys like Lara, Floyd, you know, these counter punchers that are fast, defensive, and the guys, and Cotto kind of struggles similar. I mean, he doesn't struggle against guys like Lara, but he struggles against rangy guys, and neither guy fits the description. So like, we don't really know how it's gonna play out, man. It's like it can really go 50-50, and this fight needs to happen. And that's all I gotta say, man. Take care.
Yeah, I know. I agree with everyone else, man. It's a great fight, and I like this because it's finally Canelo isn't quite fighting a full-blown middleweight here, but Cotto is, I guess, a little bit heavier than most of the opponents. I guess not maybe Kirkland, but I mean, Cotto can box. He could do certain things, and for him to win that fight, he would have to kind of stay in the center of the ring. But Canelo has underrated speed with his punches. He's very explosive, and his hooks are bad. So if he gets Canelo against the ropes, that could be a bad night. But I think it's a great fight. Even if he does get past Cotto, which like I said, is 50-50, I don't think even beating Cotto right now would prepare him for someone like Golovkin. And I think that Top Rank would kind of, you know, tell Oscar De La Hoya to pump his brakes for a second on that and get a few more fights under the middleweight, I guess, the division, because we don't know how Canelo is going to be at 160. We know that he bullies people. It's not quite Chavez Jr., but we don't know how he's going to be when the other fighter in the ring isn't just the same size as him. It's bigger than him. And that's what for sure Golovkin would be. So I think it's a great fight. It needs to happen next. I think that Canelo has a great shot to do this, but I think that it's a 50-50 fight, like I said. So what's up?
Well, let me get to some of these Skype callers here. Laugh out loud. What's going on?
Yo, yeah, I'm calling and talk about some of the fights I saw. First I want to give props to Amir Mansour, like not on his effort in the bout, but for looking like a damn fighter at 42 in the heavyweight division. This guy got the best heavyweight body at 42 years old. I'm hoping guys like Wilder don't lose a fight and then come back with a pot belly and shit, and Joshua, but I got to give him credit for looking like a fucking fighter. You look at Tyson Fury, you just name them at the heavyweight division, and the casual fan turned to that. And I saw this last night with my dad watching a fight. He turned past and he says, "Oh, these guys look like they can fight." But then he looks at the Joey guy, can't pronounce his last name. He said, "I don't even know if he was training. He got a pot belly." And I'm just thinking, I'd say 42 years old, you coming out, you lost the weight, you might have lost some power with it, but you did look like a fighter. Just want to give him his props on that. And talk about the Canelo fight real quick. Like the other caller said, we didn't learn nothing new from him today. I knew this was going to be Angulo coming in with a worse chin, part 2. And Max Kellerman, for him to get in the ring and keep on blasting, hey, this was better than Mayweather Pac. Son, he's fighting a guy that might not even be top 50 pound for pound. Why are we comparing this? Why do we have to take that step? Why do we have to say, hey, the fight yesterday last week put you to sleep. This one gonna wake you up. And then Jim Lampley, well, this one might knock you out. Well, this guy might not be in the gym for another year because he wasn't in the gym for a year ago before this fight. How about that? Well, this one. But I mean, I just see it like that. We getting bullshit out of this, and like we keep talking about a Golovkin fight. I hope Canelo can stay at 154. I hope he can be disciplined and make that weight because he can do it. I want him to get him a title at 154. I want him to fight Demetrius Andrade. That's what I want to see. I mean, why can't we push for that? That's the fight.
You're joking, right?
I mean, they both HBO.
Well, first of all, they're not both HBO because remember, Andre was trying to make that Charlo fight on Showtime, so obviously he doesn't owe HBO any fights. But Andre is just not a big enough name. He's not doing anything. I mean, his last fight was who? Gerard Fletcher, maybe?
I mean, that's cool, but like Kirkland been off a year. We can't use the name.
But Kirkland is a name. People know him.
Canelo can fight. Canelo can fight me tomorrow in Houston, Texas, and put 35,000 people in those seats.
Probably.
We know it's true. That's what I like about it. I'm not dissing him, but that boy got some major skills. But I can't continue to be a boxing fan and say, hey, I can't get that fight. Like I just
don't see what Andre is doing to merit a Canelo fight.
He got a belt.
He's not even he's not even Laura. At least Laura was going through the gauntlet to get his shot. Laura fought everybody at 154.
All right, well, you name the people at 154 with titles, and you say K9. I still don't know who he's fighting. I don't know who he's fighting.
But Andre, who Andre fought?
Yeah, but who is trying to fight Andre? Everyone's ducking him. How can he get his chance? If not, it's never going to happen.
You don't have to sign, man. You know the name of the game. You know the name of the game.
It seems like to me he's willing to sign to fight everyone.
Listen, HBO not backing him, or else he'd have been on TV with somebody.
It's because he doesn't have a fan-friendly style. We talked about this before. He's the high-risk, low-reward. I think that Demetrius Andre, the belts don't mean much, but we know, and you know as a casual, or not a casual fan, but someone that pays attention, you know that that's a serious fight. And if they were able to work Laura into being a pay-per-view fight, they can absolutely at least make this a credible opponent for HBO.
Laura merited it.
That's a hell of a point right there, man.
No, it's not.
Right there.
No, it's
not.
not.
Hell of a point.
No, it's not, because Laura merited it. Laura earned it. Laura fought Trout.
But no one knew him. No one knew him. I understand he fought Trout. He did all that shit. No one knew who Laura was just as much.
That's not true. That's not true. That is not
true. A little bit more, but the jump from Laura going to pay-per-view isn't much greater than
Andre
getting a shot at Canelo. It's not. That's not crazy.
Listen to this resume, man. You could think what you want. You don't have to like his style, but listen to this resume, bro. Del Rey Reigns. I don't really know this dude, but he's been around, okay? Carlos Molina, Paul Williams, Ronald Hearns, Freddie Hernandez, Vanes Martirosyan, Alfredo Angulo, Austin Trout, Saul Alvarez, and Ishe Smith. Don't do that. Don't fucking compare him to Andre. I'm going to get Andre because I like Andre. I like him. I like him. No, because it's not right. It's not right, man.
He beat Vanes more convincingly.
Like James said, if you can put Lara in the pay-per-view, you think a guy like Andre speaks English, first of all, and you did interviews with him that you know how he cut up an interview.
Yeah,
I know. He can't sell a pay-per-view fight?
I'm going to tell you why. Look,
I'm going to tell you why. He doesn't even have to be pay-per-view. It could be on
HBO and still do just as well. I'm going to tell you why. This is the first time he took a step up was in 2011. He fought Grady Brewer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then he took a step backwards and fought Saul Duran. Another step backwards for Angel Hernandez. Another step backwards for Rudy, whatever.
Look at his promoter.
Another step backwards and fought Alexis, whoever. Then he finally fought Freddie Hernandez. We've been said that name on Laura's resume. Then he fought Vanes. and then he fought Brian Rhodes, not even Gerald Fletcher. So come on, man, let's be for real.
It's his promoters. Look at his promoter.
That's his fault, my friend. That's his fault. That's his fault.
I can't announce that right.
Listen, his promoter's name is Star Boxing, and that's his fault. When K9 wasn't a guy, right? What he did, he kept winning, he kept his title, and then he signed the Golden Boy.
I thought he was with Palulo now.
Nah, he's with Star Boxing.
Oh, I mean that's part of the problem, but for us as real fans, I'm just trying to push a great boxer.
Dude, listen, I'm a hardcore fan. I'm a hardcore fan, but he ain't doing nothing outside of the occasional interview to make me want to see him in the fight.
Well, then who would you rather see at 154 for Canelo that could fight? Because everyone else that's at 154 is on the other side of the fence.
I mean, they could fight. I would have to check, but let me get to some other callers. Jason Shaw, talk to me.
What's going on, man? Who's moderating the chat, man? That asshole just fucking blocked me. What's up with that? The fuck?
You must have did something wrong.
You gave TBV Mod the authority to block people?
He's got the power, man.
That's cool. But I was gonna say they were fucking calling Danny Garcia a cherry picker for fighting Rosalka. Why didn't Canelo get called a cherry picker for fighting Angulo and then fucking Kirkland back to back? What's up with that?
I think it's different. That's way different. Yeah, that's way different.
And those guys present some sort of danger. Yo, Jason, you about to get hung up on? Fix your audio.
All right, man. I'll call.
There's an echo on your end. What do you got going on over there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good now. Talk to us.
Yeah, man. They didn't present any danger. Kirkland, what danger did he present?
Power.
You didn't know that, though. No one knew this was going to happen except for a few.
All right. Yeah. To me, Kirkland presented power, and Angulo presented durability.
Yeah, the Angulo fight, you can't even discredit that because the fight before, he gave the worst fight to Arislandi Lara. He has the most success before obviously he got stopped. So no one knew that Angulo was going to look like he was fighting underwater. James Kirkland, I predicted a 5th round knockout, but I didn't think that he'd gas out as early as he did. So even then, a lot of people, the only reason why they gave Kirkland a chance is because they've thought who he was before. Sometimes it's hard to predict this kind of fight and to see exactly until you see the fighter in the ring, then you go, oh shit, he is spent. That's what we got. I absolutely don't think this is anywhere close to what Rod Salka was because that dude was 76 ranked. James Kirkland in the fight last night, he could have still competed with Glenn Tapia or at least on some sort of a contender level. It's way different to me.
Well, I seen him have Canelo in some trouble. So, whatever. We know about his chin. Okay, so we're going to go to the Scholar. And Scholar, try not to spend too much time on Amir Mansour. It wasn't very impressive.
How you doing? Good evening, Ness.
What's up?
Good evening to all the commentators and I guess hosts. Yeah, Ness. I'm not gonna spend too much time, but the guy, I'm a big fan, and I'm a big hardcore fan also. And the guy, he did a beautiful display of boxing. He came in very good condition. He's walking on 210, but he showed in the ring that he has the boxing skill. The only thing that he got an early round cut. So Joey has a world class trainer on his side, and who was a world champion. So he also is very confident. Joey the worker is very confident about his power. I mean, that's why he was laying back like that. He's waiting for the counterpunch. He even tagged him when he went southpaw, which Amir Mansour was in. What I think was he didn't train for that. He didn't expect that from him. So also there was an early round cut, so he had no choice but to box. And then there was times in the fight that they were both waiting for a punch. So Amir Mansour had to, to win the rounds, he had to rely on his southpaw jab, and that's what he was doing. And he displayed great wingmanship. He used the whole ring, even with the cut. And to me it was an exciting fight. He displayed boxing. A lot of boxing fans like the fight, and he was in very good condition. And also I think Joey could recover from this if he gets a couple of big wins. He could win from that because after the 9th round, you could see that he was confused, and also he needs to get more experience. I would love to see him against Deontay Wilder. That would be a great fight. Also on the fight with Saul Canelo Alvarez, he displayed heavy-handed, explosive power. That was the difference in that fight. I think James Kirkland went in there to win the fight. So at the end of the day, it was the power of Canelo that was stunning him. he tried to smother him with punches in the second round, and it didn't work. And then he also Canelo's ability to slip punches. It showed in the third round. He slipped a punch and he tagged him with a southpaw, and it was a wrap. And also the uppercut. He has a great future, and he's gonna be a great pound for pound champion after Floyd Mayweather retires, because it showed he's only 24 and he has a huge ranch already, and I think he has much more to gain. Also, I think the win from the fights is starting to show on James Kirkland. James Kirkland has to probably use a boxing approach if his career's gonna last long, because he's in too many wars. Also, Omar Figueroa, I think it's the cut situation and a little bit was short in the fight. He fought a world-class champion, even though he lost a couple of fights. He got his jaw broke by Ray Bertrand, but that's a world-class champion, which was an overcomer in many fights. He has underrated boxing skills, and he was able to, in sloppy exchanges, but he was able to get the win. At the end of the day, he got the win, so that's a big win for him, and he showed it in a 140-pound division that he could do it. Ricky Burns probably get a couple of good fights in the future, but that was a good win for him, because he fought a guy that beat Rocky Martinez, which a lot of people didn't expect him to win. He was also a British champion. I don't know if he had a Commonwealth strap too, but that guy, that's a seasoned fighter. He fought Ray Bertrand with a broken jaw. He won 12 rounds with Terence Crawford, so that's a great win for him and his resume. It was a beautiful weekend. A lot of boxing, all different styles of boxing was displayed this weekend, and Mansour, I can't wait to see him against Deontay Wilder. That's going to be a great fight. You have a great evening, and thanks very much.
All right, Suleiman. I can't believe you said that fight was exciting.
Yo, I've never even saw the fight. That's why I dipped out when you guys were talking about that. But the way he put it and the way you guys put it, he said almost the same story, but he just gave it like a different extra spin to it, which is kind of
my problem. My problem is you're Mir Mansour. You got all this power. You're faster than Joey. You could create some sort of angles. You're a southpaw, and you got this chubby kid just waiting there. He's not doing nothing. He's not moving. He ain't afraid. He's barely coming forward. He's just waiting. And Mansour, same thing like McDonald, man. They're throwing this jab that there's no way it can reach. It's just like, let me just throw to look like I'm being active, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know what you was watching there.
646, you're up.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Yo, is Stewart on the line?
He is, but you got to get off speaker.
All right, hold on 1 second.
Why do people even call in on speaker? You guys know no speaker.
Well, now I'm in the car. I was connected to my Bluetooth, but shout out to the UK, man. Chris Eubank all day, and I gotta eat my crow for the. I actually picked James Kirkland to win this weekend. And yeah, I was straight picking with my heart, man. That was just a dumb decision. I definitely deserved that crow, maybe even 2 times. But I thought earlier the Ricky Burns fight, I thought it was Ricky Burns did very well. And if it wasn't for the point deductions, I think that fight could have been completely different, maybe even a draw. I think Lawrence Cole is definitely something that has to go on. Maybe they need to investigate this guy or find this dude. He's got to be one of the worst referees in the game right now. People give Kenny Bayless shit, but man, Lawrence Cole is the fucking worst, man. When has this guy ever done a good ref job? This dude is fucking terrible.
Yeah, well, it certainly wasn't the Lomachenko-Salido fight. He was dreadful in that.
Definitely, this dude is fucking awful. And I'm definitely looking.
Wait a minute. What didn't you like? What was it that he did that you did not like?
As far as the refereeing in this weekend?
Yes.
This dude he's moving these guys' arm, man. You can't do that. Somebody's gonna get caught with a shot. If they got one arm free, you gotta let them work. Now and then, if someone's initiating the clinch excessive, then yes, I can see a point getting taken. But at one point, Ricky Burns clinched because he got hurt with a body shot. You can't penalize somebody for fucking getting hurt, man. It's boxing. Sometimes, you're gonna get hit and you're gonna get fucking hurt. I mean, there was times where it was kind of excessive, but if they're having one arm free, you gotta let them work in there. You can't be like moving their arm out the way. Somebody can get hit, and you can get hurt from that. You know.
I just want to say, this is totally off topic, but something you said reminded me. Glenn Tapia didn't have to be knocked out either. That dude was just bugging. Like, why didn't he take the knee? I mean, this dude never went down ever. Even when the fight was stopped, he didn't go down. When you thought he fell at the end, he didn't go down. Like, he was fighting not to go down instead of fighting smart and say, okay, I'm fucked up. Let me take a knee and recoup. No, he tried to do the Matrix in there. I'm sorry, caller. Go ahead, James. What you was gonna say? What you was gonna say?
I was just gonna say, man, you're 100% correct. There was a point where I thought his glove actually did touch, and I was like, oh shit, then he's down. But then he tried to get his balance back, and then he got hit with a few more punches that did take him out. That again is inexperience, and I agree with the stoppage. I guess I don't know. That's all I gotta say. But go ahead, caller. We interrupt you with the off-topic subject.
That's all good. Also, how come there's not a lot of hype behind Roman Chocolito Gonzalez, man? I like this dude. This is the fucking truth. And he doesn't
I thought he was.
People never seen him fight.
I thought he was going to be on HBO. Wasn't he supposed to be on HBO? This was supposed to be
on
his
the
big
Golovkin fight next weekend.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Yeah, this dude is the fucking truth, man. And then also this guy Diego De La Hoya looked good on what was it? I think it was Thursday or Friday. I thought he looked very good in his last fight that he had.
You know what I like about this dude? He keeps fighting all Santa Cruz opponents, and he's fighting them way before Santa Cruz. This dude, this Manuel Roman, that was another Santa Cruz, opponent. I mean, I didn't like that he went the distance, but I guess, Samuel Roman or whatever his name is, Manuel Roman deserves some sort of credit for being in there and being in there with Leo Santa Cruz as well. I don't know, but I like Diego. Definitely like Diego.
Yeah. So, I mean, Santa Cruz. I mean, he's the 20th century version of Primo Camaro, isn't he? I mean, the guy's just a clown. I mean, he needs to step up. I mean, Sullivan was saying that everyone was ducking Santa Cruz, but no one's ducking Santa Cruz. Everyone wants to fight him because they know he's an easy touch. You know, this guy's he's grabbing cab drivers off the street and going 12 rounds with them. I mean,
this last fight on the Mayweather. I mean, you know what? Let's not even get there because that was hideous, dude. It
was terrible, man. And you know, you got to call a spade here. This guy, since he's gone with Al Heyman, his career has plummeted. I used to like Santa Cruz. I can't stand the man no more. Heyman's ruined his career.
Well, his next one is his next one is Abner Mars, allegedly. Caller, what else you got? We're gonna keep it moving.
That's all I got, man. Thanks for the call, and you guys keep having a good show. I appreciate the listen, man. Shit.
All right, brother. Thank you. Stay off of Chris Eubank, man. Stay away from him. 832, you're up. 832. 818.
What's up, Ness?
AB, what up?
So, you guys spent like an hour talking about all these crap fights over the weekend, and the most important fight that happened over the weekend, you guys didn't even talk about it.
What, Felix Stern?
The Chudinov Stern fight?
We did talk about it.
Well, you just mentioned it, you just said, oh, the fight happened.
Well, it was untelevised, my friend.
Yeah, well, I didn't watch the fight either, but, I just, that was for the WBA super middleweight title. So we got another Eastern European now, with the title in the middleweight classes. So he's got the WBA title now, and we got a new player, so it just makes that division even more interesting. Regarding the Canelo fight, I do agree with you, even though a lot of people are going crazy over it. But, again, we got to, even when he was with Ann Wolf, Kirkland, the guy absolutely has no chin. I mean, even in the Tapia fight, you saw that, he almost got knocked out and then he came back again. So I didn't realize his chin was that bad. I thought the Ishida fight was like a fluke and Ishida just caught him with a good shot. But, I mean, Canelo Alvarez has never done this to any fighter. I mean, he hasn't even done this to guys that are coming up for 147. You know, even when he hit Erislandy Lara with an uppercut.
Well, he did this to Barrera.
To who?
To Barrera. Wasn't it Barrera?
Barrera?
Yeah, he fought somebody that some old guy that was
Baldemir.
Yeah, he fought some old guy that was known and knocked him out.
Is that the Baldemir that Floyd fought?
Yeah.
Well, there you go then.
Yeah. So I mean, the first clean punch that Canelo landed on him, and it didn't even look like it was powerful. I mean, Kirkland was already out on his feet, and the first body shot Canelo threw at him, Kirkland was already staggering. So the one thing I didn't like what Canelo did is, even first of all, post-fight, he admitted he got tired and he gassed. So if you have a guy coming forward that can actually slip punches with that kind of pressure that Kirkland had, I mean, if Kirkland had a better chin, that fight would have been interesting. The fact that Canelo was already tired in the third round, and you could even see it. Number two, the fact that he was against the ropes for close to a minute against the ropes. Okay, if he fights Golovkin like that, he could potentially be stopped with the body shot. I mean, let's remember when Golovkin.
Why is everybody even saying Golovkin? That's just HBO trying to hype it up. But like, he's a far way from fighting Golovkin.
I think we've got to take a step back here. The kid he's only 24 years old.
Why would De La Hoya put him in with Golovkin?
Stick him in with Broner, a young 24-year-old kid that's going to make him a lot of money. So stick him in with Golovkin. I mean, who's going to do that?
I know.
I mean, no one is. Golovkin, that fight won't happen.
Well, look, I mean, the guy's not going to he's going to have more wear and tear.
Man, Joshua Clottey was on that undercard for a reason, my friend.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is he's going to be in his prime in his late 20s. So what I'm trying to say is that if you're assessing Canelo and you're his trainer, if once he steps up the competition, a guy that has body can go to the body like that, you don't stay, against the ropes, for close to a minute and wait till your opponent gets tired. I mean, that's not good strategy.
Well, I mean, you got to remember that was his strategy. Floyd goes against the ropes when he counters, and his strategy as well for Canelo was to go against the ropes and counter.
Yeah, but I saw him getting hit with body shots when he was against the ropes.
Well,
Canelo never looked in trouble. He looked in control. He was picking his moments. Them punches that Kirkland were throwing didn't have any venom in him. I mean, Canelo was just in second gear, just waiting, picking his time, waiting to take Kirkland out. And as soon as he left openings, Canelo was straight in there with world-class combinations, with fantastic power. Night Kirkland. I mean, there's not much to talk about, really. Kirkland was just totally out of his depth. And Canelo would do that to a lot of fighters.
I got Canelo beating Cotto. I think he's too big. He's got less wear and tear. Cotto doesn't have the size. He doesn't have, and he has too much wear and tear, I think, to compete with Canelo. I got Canelo winning that fight. That's basically it. I was going to say, are you going to go to the Golovkin fight?
Hell no.
Okay.
You going to that? You going to that?
Yeah, I'm going.
Yeah, but
I actually got good seats.
But that's because how far are you? You're like probably an hour away.
I'm like, around there, like 45 minutes.
Listen, no disrespect to Willie Monroe, but I'm not about to fly across the country for Willie Monroe. Like, hey, I'm gonna be rooting for him, underdog. But like I was rooting for Kirkland, but I know who I'm picking to win that fight. AB, let me let you go. 908, you're up.
Yeah. What's going on, fellas? It's Amin calling from North.
What's up, now, Amin?
Yo, I'm gonna run through it right quick. Glenn Tapia, he got trashed in front of his family. That was the worst part about it to me. I think it was his mom's and his sister, or his girl and his mom's, but he got trashed in front of them, y'all. That was fucked up.
That's the second time it's happened too. That's what's unfortunate about it.
Yeah, and they hot too, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, his girl is hot as hell. I'm not gonna deny that.
Yeah, yo, that's real bad. Yo, I don't fuck with Ricky Burns, but he definitely was fighting two people in there because I hear you, Ness. Like he could have took points, but that's just like you trying to whoop somebody's ass and somebody just pulling your arm. Like there's no, he was better off taking the points than to keep catching somebody's arm in the middle of a fucking boxing match. Like that's just crazy. So
well, it wasn't like
man,
Ricky Burns was using that arm.
Yeah, I mean, but you couldn't really tell what he was trying to do. I mean, yeah, he was clinching, but if he was clinching to stop Figueroa's momentum and volume and then try to work from the inside, he couldn't get a chance to execute that.
Did he ever hold to get something going in the inside? Whatever.
Man, I'm reaching, but you get it. Yeah, I don't fuck with Lawrence Cole, man. Texas, Lawrence Cole, that's a bad pairing right there from the rip.
You know what? Listen, I don't want to be behind him either because I'm going to sound whack. But at the end of the day, I'm begging for referees to take points. I got to back him, dude. There was holding. He took the points. I'm happy.
It should have been a draw. If they was going to be fair, it should have just been a draw.
Yeah, but that don't got nothing to do with Lawrence Cole. That's the judges.
All right. Well, I can't argue with you. My brother. I'm gonna move through Mansour. I mean, he's got to do something different. He came in there just way too thin. You can't lose that much muscle and mass and then lose your power and think you're gonna do something. He's not even skilled enough to pull off a Brandon Jennings if he fought. It's a joke to even call somebody a top heavyweight, but if he fought some of the guys at the top of the division, I don't think he has enough to really do anything. Even if he fought a Deontay Wilder, I think Wilder would outclass him, and that's, that says whatever it says. Canelo looks real good. Kirkland, without Aaron Wolf, he ain't shit. I don't even think he's, I don't know what his deal is, but 50 Cent got to scrap him and put his money behind somebody else, man.
50 Cent must be pulling out all of his he got. Because every time one of his fighters get in the ring, they getting that ass whooped.
But, I mean, Billy Dibb, Gamboa, and Kirkland, I mean, he's got to do something different. He's got to get a new stable of fighters, man.
Yeah, didn't he have Durrell as well at one time?
Yeah, Durrell got going.
Yeah, his ass whooping's coming.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one, too. I don't see Durrell doing much, man. I think,
the style that Durrell has, Stuart, you should know, it's not going to be an ass whooping. Like, even if DeGale wins, it won't be by ass whooping because
Durrell knows how to survive.
Hey, we got to admit it. He knows how to move.
He's a very tricky customer, but for me, he's just horrible to watch. But you got to remember here, James DeGale is a different animal to Carl Froch. Carl Froch is like a brawler with a good jab and a good right hand. But James DeGale is he has a very tough style.
Stuart, do you even know where that fight's happening at?
It's in America. Don't matter.
In Boston, dude.
America's not a cauldron anymore. I've told you that. We'd gladly come over there and whoop your
No.
ass.
I'm not saying because of that. I'm saying, like, I can't believe it's in Boston. Like,
oh, you're on about the Boston? Yeah, like I said, it could be anywhere. It doesn't matter. James DeGale's got to go over there and do a job.
Well, it does matter, man. We need the sport to do well, man.
That's not Durrell's. What does Durrell sell out?
But why are you arguing with me? I'm not saying either one is a draw. I'm saying it's in a bad location. It's in Boston, dude. Like, when's the last fight you heard was in Boston?
Well, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it's a better place than Cincinnati, isn't it? I mean, who'd want to watch boxing there? So
I mean, but neither guy. All right, forget it. I don't know. I think
I don't get what you're saying.
I don't get what you're saying. I'm not blaming DeGale or Eddie Hearn or I'm just saying we're getting a prize fight in Boston. When's the last time you heard of a fight in Boston?
Well, I know the UFC do it for you there, don't they?
and anyway, Boston is like, isn't that like home of the Irish and shit? You got two black guys going to Boston. That makes no sense.
That's Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor plays.
Say what? I mean,
it's New England. They try to humor James DeGale, I guess.
I doubt it, man. Listen,
I don't know.
You all finished up? Let me get to some other callers
I'm
in.
good, man.
All right, brother. Thank you for calling in, man. You know we appreciate it. Who we got? Looks like it's our good old friend QB.
Hold up, son. Yeah. To all the killers and $100. I got you stuck off the realness. We be the infamous, you heard of us. Official Queensbridge murderers.
Yeah, what's good, everybody? That's and all y'all, man.
Yo, didn't you pick Kirkland?
Yeah, that's why I'm calling him my crow right now. Yeah, man, but
it seems like QB, you get crow every week, man. You got to get some of these right.
I know. Yeah, but you know that fight, yeah. Kirkland don't got no type of chin, man. I don't care if he was with Ann Wolf, he still got knocked out eventually. And Canelo, man, yo, he's a good boxer, but if he trying to go against Cotto and these other boxers, man, he gonna have to get his stamina up. He got tired of the second round, second, third. He was winded. He can't do that. Like Cotto's a smart boxer. Cotto knows that. So I don't know if he's gonna win with Cotto or not, because he's gonna be tired. And Cotto is a slick boxer, fast, and he gonna be dipping all that shit, man. He gonna get tired though, man, and then eventually he gonna be slowing down the later round, and that's when Cotto gonna win by decision. And that fight with Figueroa, man, that referee is something else, man. He need to get his license revoked. I mean, he kept slapping his arm down, moving his arm. You can't do that, man. Like, man, that referee is crazy, man. That fight was like a draw to me. Like, Ricky Burns didn't lose that fight. Figueroa gonna get knocked out at 140. He can't fight, man. He like a brawler coming forward. Somebody gonna beat him down. I can't wait to see that. Can't wait to see him get beat down. Trust me, man. He's a non-boxer, and Tapia, man. Oh, man, I feel for him, man. His girl, beautiful, man. He got beat up for the second time in front of his girl, man. And he could have taken a knee. You right, Ness. He could have took a knee, but he didn't. He wanted to play like he Billy Badass and try to get his equilibrium back and lost. He got beat up, bad man. Come on, now take a knee, get your shit back, and then go forward like that. Don't try to. You hurt and you trying to, come on, man. Dude laid them out after that. Yeah, but that's all I wanted to say, brother. I'm just listening, yo. You have a nice night. Happy Mother's Day to y'all family.
All right, QB. Thanks for calling in, brother. Mr. Nunca, what up?
Oh, wow. That was quick, man. I guess no one's calling today. How are you guys?
Oh, no. You're just on Skype. You know, talk to us.
All right, man. Hey, listen. Lawrence Cole, man. I don't know if I just called in. Was doing the Mother's Day thing. I'm sure you guys cover this. He mentioned that I've never been so angry at a referee as to Lawrence Cole. That was not only unprofessional, it was potentially dangerous. Would you agree with that statement? That it was potentially dangerous to grab his hands the way he was grabbing Ricky Burns' hands?
I said it earlier, bro.
I don't agree.
Exactly the same thing.
I don't agree.
Very dangerous.
You don't agree that it was dangerous?
I don't agree.
Explain.
I think it's very dangerous.
I think if it was dangerous, we would have seen something dangerous happen. Nothing happened because it wasn't dangerous.
Okay, that's like saying, I was driving drunk and nothing happened, so that's not dangerous.
Well, I mean, how many people drive drunk?
A lot.
All right. So everyone has a different tolerance level.
Nestor, you're smart and you're good at arguing, but that's logic's crazy. So you think that because nothing happened, it wasn't dangerous. I had sex without a condom with a hooker. Nothing happened. So should I do it again?
Oh, no.
I mean?
Well, if you choose to, that's on you.
I mean, Nez is known around the internet for being a host that likes to back cheats and defend cheats. He's known worldwide for it.
Cheats.
Listen, Nestor, when you're grabbing a dude's hand in a professional prize fight,
well, that dude shouldn't be grabbing.
Both guys were grabbing.
He was warned. First of all, he was warned. He was already warned, and he was point deducted, and he continued to do it.
Let me preface by saying that Figueroa won the fight. Okay, so
it doesn't matter to me. I'm backing the referee because I beg referees to take points for holding. That's who I'm backing.
Why wouldn't you take points for ducking your head into Ricky Burns? And I think he won the fight. Figueroa won fair.
Again, it's up to the referee to say, hey, stop coming in with your head. Next time you do it, I'm going to take a point. What he did say is stop holding.
You think that's one's not fair? You should call the other, right?
Listen, If he felt it was excessive, he would have called it. If you feel that it was excessive and there was no call, I can understand that argument. But as far as him taking a hand off of Figueroa, I don't think that's a problem, because what he was doing was allowing the fight to continue, because he'd already warned and deducted Ricky Burns. What was left was disqualification, in my opinion.
Okay, like how many times has Lawrence Cole been involved in these situations? Would you agree that he's involved substantially too often in these types of situations? Is that a fair statement to make?
That is that is a fair statement to make. If you're asking me, has he been involved in some controversial cards or judging, I would say yes.
And why don't you tell everyone who his daddy is as well, Nez? You know,
he's a former something of the Texas Commission.
His dad is Dickie Cole, the former commissioner of the state of Texas.
Yeah,
right?
former.
So we all know how he got his job.
Yeah, Lawrence Cole should not be involved in any main event fighting. It happens far too often. Ricky Burns lost. I just feel bad for the guy because I don't think he ever got a fair shake. And those scorecards were ridiculous. 118 to 110 was terrible. Come on, that was a closer fight than that. I can't believe I'm agreeing with Stuart Little, by the way. I love you, Stuart Little. I'm a big fan. I don't ever agree with Stuart Little. He's funny because he always defends the European guys. I'm not defending him in the sense that I thought he won. I just thought he didn't even get a fair shake at all.
I agree with you. That's my problem. I mean, I haven't got a problem with Figueroa nicking it, because I know, because I've been on this show and knowing boxing, I know that going to America to fight a Heyman fighter, you're going to have to do something special.
Yeah, you're going to have to do the same thing you got to do when you go to fucking UK and fight any fighter.
I think
not true. Terence Crawford come there and got a
yeah, you got the nerve. You got the nerve to forget about Ricky Burns, Beltran, huh?
Beltran, yeah, I was gonna say ask Ray Beltran. You know, I just feel that Ricky Burns.
Well, that's evens for Holyfield Lewis.
Holyfield Lewis, that was a draw.
Yeah, exactly. And Lewis won that fight, so we're evens now.
Yeah, but Lewis isn't even European, man. He's Canadian.
Born in London, 10 years old, went over to Canada, got bullied for his English accent, got into boxing. The rest is history. The UK on his flag. The UK flag
Listen,
on his shorts.
I don't know, Mr. Nunca. I don't know how long you've been listening, but this guy, he'll adapt anyone. Doesn't matter how they look, as long as they're from somewhere near the Eastern Europe hemisphere somewhere. This dude doesn't care. They could be Russian, Ukrainian. They're all Euros.
Says Americans. I mean, you go on BoxRec, they've got Stavern down as American. I mean, unbelievable.
Well, BoxRec is a UK company, fool.
Yeah, but you Americans claim anybody.
How are you going to say you Americans when BoxRec is a UK company?
Well, like I said, I'm sure they've got Americans working for
whatever.
They're everywhere else. But let's put it this way. You claim everyone. Most of your fighters can't even speak English. You have to have a Spanish guy come in and do all the interpreting. Yet he's sitting there in the stars and stripes on his shorts. I mean, you got a cheek.
Mr. Nunca, you done? I guess so. Moving right along. We're going to go to we did go to 832. We're going to go to 609. 609, what's up?
Yo, I feel like I should eat crow because I don't have to, but I thought Mansoor would walk through Dweco. I'm real disappointed with how he fought. I was at the fight, but it doesn't really mean much. But what I'm saying is that the way he was so much more in shape that people are talking about, really thought his performance should have been much more dominant. You were completely correct. He was throwing his punch just to throw it. He didn't have any intention. I think maybe he was nervous, maybe about being on ESPN or something. But I give Dweco a lot of credit. He got a lot of weight off. He went into a real big training regimen. I think he was down in he was in California or whatever it is. He worked real hard. And he was in there, kind of fought like he was like a 154 pounder or something, waiting, being patient. Boxing.
But all that credit you give him, he doesn't deserve it, because this was the shot of his life. I mean, this dude's been a club fighter. I've watched him fight on fights that aren't even ever going to be on TV, that they were lucky to have a stream for, and this was his shot. Like, this was his shot, and he just laid back. And his team kept telling him, you got to let your hands go. Joey shit the bed, and so did Mansoor.
Yeah, well, Buddy McGirt didn't even know what the heck to tell a kid. But no, you're totally correct. I thought he was going to get laid out. I thought Dweco was going to get laid out. I thought this was going to be a Friday night special, and he was going to be eating that. That was going to be it. So that's why I give him credit. I'm happy for him for going around. I think he didn't look like a clown, and I thought he was going to really look like a clown. As far as the Alvarez fight, I mean, I hate fights like that. It wasn't a main event fight. It got promoted a little bit, like some sort of a main event. We knew what was going to happen. We knew Kirkland wasn't going to do anything. I don't care about Ann Wolf. I don't care about nothing. Kirkland's a club fighter. I mean, straight up. I mean, he does not have what it takes to be in there with a guy like Alvarez. I think it was just pathetic. But as far as the heavyweights go, I don't think Amir Mansour really deserves to be talking about Brian Jennings, and definitely not things like Vladimir Klitschko, Deontay Wilder. I think Mansour needs to fight with a Chambers. I think, I haven't seen Eddie in a while. I think Eddie walks through both of them guys, Dweco and the other one, in one night, let alone what's going to happen. So I think that he needs to get back in there a little bit. And as far as the refs and the holding, I think we need to go real strict all around the board. I know nobody really manages these guys, but I think that holding needs to start coming down, kind of like bringing the shot clocks down, and from professional basketball, from college basketball, professional basketball. If we start not allowing these holds and we start making these guys have more seconds in there, we start deducting points. Guys are going to be letting their hands go. They're not going to be holding, and that in and of itself can drive a little bit more boxing. I think that
it's better for entertainment, bro. Look, I was at a sushi spot watching the PBC card, right? This is the only good thing about PBCs thus far, is that I could be out and watch it somewhere. Me and my wife are at a sushi restaurant. I asked them to put it on. It's Channel 2. I'm watching this thing, and a casual fan he's looking at the fight. He starts to ask me questions because he hears me and my wife talking about it. He says, isn't there another fight on tonight? I'm like, yeah, on HBO, Canelo versus Kirkland. He's like, oh, yeah, I think that's the fight. I'm like, look, they're going to play the Mayweather-Pacquiao replay too, so you should watch. And he's like, yeah, I'll probably check it out. But I ate all my sushi and left, and the Kometa fight was still on. It was still on. Like, you can't promote boxing with boring shit like that. It's just, I mean, look, I know that I sound like a hypocrite because I like Mayweather, but come on, man. Everybody isn't on that level. That's just the bottom line. Like, he's doing it to pound for pound, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This dude's fighting somebody from the UK that only Stewart heard of, and the shit went 12 rounds after he dropped them with one shot. Imagine he'd have put a combination together. Like, that's why casual fans don't want to watch this shit.
Yeah, I know. I still think the fight of the week, though, is this lawsuit against Heyman. I don't know what they're thinking about. I really don't think that we need the United States government and the court system being involved in the business of boxing. I don't see why these guys can't sit down like it's Prop Joe in a co-op and be able to work this out. But this Heyman can't just be fucking Darth Vader forever. I mean, he's gonna have to come out of the woodwork sometime. Somebody's gonna have to do something. But he's managing this mystique of not being around, not being seen. Nobody knows who the fuck the guy is, and he's signing these guys. And he's signing these guys. He's manipulating the game. He put together this nice little premier boxing thing, especially after Kathy Dugan and all these guys wasted that whole NBC opportunity. We're lucky there's networks still messing around with boxing. Now we're going to have lawsuits in there. It's going to be a big mess. But, I don't necessarily think that the court system being involved in this is going to be good for the sport. I don't know how it's going to happen. But it's definitely the fight of the week. I can't wait for this to unfold all these layers, but I think they need to drop this crap, and I can't believe these guys can't get down like gentlemen. But the fact of the matter is I think Heyman's going to have Golden Boy go broke with this shit. I mean, the competition, though, has to be good. Like, we need another Heyman. We need people putting these fights together, and, we need healthy guys. I don't understand how there's just not enough to go around, but I think that officiating, and I think that the speed and quality of what the fights are going to be, but we need the money because the better athletes are going into the other sports with the guaranteed money, and they're just not going into boxing. But I'm real anxious to find out what happens on the business level on the court system.
Well, all right, brother.
Man. Thanks, man.
Let me get to some other callers here. I will say that was probably one of the best lines said on the Boxing Voice. He said they need to get down like Prop Joe at the co-op. That's from The Wire. But look, I think that I don't know what bringing this lawsuit to the federal system is going to do. All I can hope that because it's going to be under the federal eye, they're obviously a lot more strict than state law. And maybe we get a good outcome as boxing fans, because we must admit there is a lot of, weird stuff happening in boxing for far too long. And, if they could come up with something, man, if they could UFC it, NFL it, NBA, whatever, MLB, I'm not mad. I'm not mad because at least we know we'll be getting the best versus the best. Everything will be uniform down the line. We'll have one set of rules. I mean, I don't see how that's a bad thing. I never did. I know that a lot of people are against it. I just think that some of these, it's a necessary evil at this point. Too many people have gotten away with too much stuff. 951, you're up.
Hey, what's up, man? It's me, el compa de Los Angeles.
Compa, what's up?
What up, what up? I think Canelo needs to step it up. I don't think that Kirkland fight did anything for him. And my boy Frankie Gomez, man, hopefully everything goes good with him. I was reading an article, and I was reading that Golden Boy might get rid of him. So hopefully not, man, because that'll be a loss for them. And I don't know if you guys know this, man, but after the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, Mayweather didn't thank Al Heyman. Did you guys see that? Catch that in his interview?
Well, he definitely thanked him in the Jim Gray interview last night.
Oh, well, what's up with Stewart? Is he on?
He's around. Stu.
I just want to let him know. I just want to let him know that Andre Dirrell's going to beat the shit out of James DeGale.
All right, compa.
You have to go back a long way. You'll have to go a long way to find Dirrell beating the shit out of anybody.
Hello. Hey. Did Stewart eat his crow for that Pacquiao pick?
Of course not. He never eats crow. He doesn't live up to bets. His word is worth shit. This guy's
on about. Listen,
you're a bad human being. You're a bad human being, brother.
Did your shows at 5 o'clock in the morning UK time? What do you expect me to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and do a show?
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance. And then when I did come on,
Stewart's like the skip
silenced me behind the Skype issue. So now I'm on.
Hey, if I had to eat my crow for Pacquiao, so does Stewart. So play it for him now.
Hello. Hey.
Go ahead, compa.
Hey, Stewart's like the Skip Bayless, man. He was sour. He was like the Skip Bayless of the show, man, because Skip was sour as fuck when Pacquiao.
Yeah, but at least Skip put the shirt and the hat on, not Stewart.
The thing is, Skip's a bit like me. He knows when he sees a horrible performance.
Which one? With Monroe and Golovkin?
No, I'm talking about Mayweather's performance. It was horrendous.
No, Stewart. Stewart, it's the caller.
We're forgetting what this sport is here now. I mean, boxing's been hijacked by this style that was created in America, where running on the back foot, pot shot on your way to points, and the judges will make sure you get the win.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Do you think that someone can do what Mayweather does to Golovkin?
Fuck no.
All right, then. So it's not Mayweather's fault. It's the fucking opponent. Listen, compa, let me keep it moving. That was not for you. That was meant for Stubert. Well, that sounded right, too. Stubert. Stubert. 443, you're up.
As you are one fucking character, you are, mate.
443, is this Wood? Who's this?
Hey, Nuff.
What's up?
Yeah, what's going on? I wonder, the boxing guards did their job with Ricky Burns, man. The boxing guards did what they supposed to do. Because every time he takes somebody over in Scotland, he cheat the fuck out of them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know what you're saying.
So I'm glad that the boxing guards caught up with him.
Yeah, Ricky Burns is a bit like Ricky Burns is our version of Danny Garcia. Gets gift decisions all the time.
Tell Stuart Lewis stop talking about my little sis. He told my little sister get back in the kitchen like she answered mama. Tell him cut that bullshit out.
I didn't hear that, bro. Sorry.
You told my little sister to get back in the kitchen. Remember that shit? She told me you told her to get back in the kitchen.
Yeah, because she was saying rude shit to me. Would you want to sit there like a little mug and take it? I don't think so.
Don't worry about it. Hey, look, I want to say about saying my man Santa Cruz. The difference between Santa Cruz and his opponents. His opponents are great fighters, but Santa Cruz is God gifted. That's the difference between him and his opponents. You understand what I'm saying now?
Hell no, I don't understand.
Hello?
I don't understand you.
His opponents. He got good opponents, but he just God gifted. He's a lot better than his opponents. That's all.
You mean Heyman gifted?
Wood, I think you've been doing too much of Mike Alvarado. You're crazy.
Oh, you ever hanging out with Alvarado? No, he did cocaine. I don't do that.
Well,
He messed with that white.
That ain't sound like no cocaine.
Yeah, what you're saying right now is absolutely crazy. The people that Leo Santa Cruz has fought, they found him on the damn streets.
It's easy for you to say, Robbie. I bet you can't get in the ring with him. I told you last week you were doing one hell of a job. Keep up the good work. Now you trying to bust my balls.
No, number one, I know I can't get in the ring, so I wouldn't even try.
Yeah, but don't worry about it. But I want to talk about my man, I got to eat my crow for the Mexican James Dean beat the shit out my man. Mexican James Dean beat the holy shit out Kirkland. So I picked Kirkland by knockout.
So we owe you some crow.
Yeah. I got you, man. I got a man up. I can't be like Stuart Little, man. I can't ask that like my man Stewart.
I know.
I gotta eat my crow.
Everybody knows that's what Stewart does. Listen, I'm gonna get to some other callers here, brother. 661, you're up.
What up, Ness? How are you guys? James, Stuart, Robbie, how are you guys doing? It's Mark, man.
We're all good, Mark.
Yeah, just chilling out over here watching the Rockets. I told you guys it was a joke fight. I mean that's just all there is to it. That's a joke fight. If that fight has 10 seconds longer in the first round, it's a first round stoppage. Agreed?
Oh, definitely.
Probably.
Okay, so that's a credible opponent for Alvarez, I guess. Do you guys think that Canelo's a tougher opponent than Andrade? I don't want to hear about selling tickets or box out, whatever. Do you guys think that who's a tougher opponent?
Tougher for who though?
For Canelo, Cotto or Andrade?
Well, I'm not sure, man, because Andrade, he could be a better or worse version than Laura, whereas Cotto is he's Cotto, man.
And what does that mean? That you favor Canelo in that fight over Cotto?
I favor Cotto in the fight over Canelo.
I don't know. Interesting.
And one of the things that Canelo's had trouble with is guys like Laura who moves around the ring constantly. Canelo can't handle guys that move like that. I mean, Floyd was able to do it. Laura was able to do it. You know, he can't handle that style.
Which is why the tougher opponent is Andrade. But you guys say you want to see the most competitive fights, but you guys want to see the biggest names, not the most competitive fights.
Look, I don't have a problem with Canelo fighting Andrade, but the problem is I don't know if anybody would put that together because not enough people would watch it. I mean, we would watch it as hardcores, but I mean,
it's not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen. And Mark, you're not making a good enough case. Like, what has he done to get the cash cow in his division? If this were Mayweather,
I don't care.
No, don't give me that bullshit. Because if this was Mayweather, you wouldn't be Come on, that's like you right now or 2 fights ago saying that Keith Thurman deserved a shot at Mayweather or Amir Khan deserved a shot at Mayweather 2 fights ago. Don't lie. Yo, Canelo is the Mayweather of his division. He's the Mayweather of his division.
Fight a guy in your division then.
He has been. He has
Okay,
been.
then go get the guy with the title. He's not fighting in his division. Cotto's the guy who makes the money in the other division.
And that's
not
what
Canelo.
and that's what he tried to do, didn't he? Cotto didn't take the fight.
The fight would have happened. He just didn't want to wait
Cotto didn't take the fight.
because he was waiting to see what happened with Floyd, and Canelo started.
Cotto didn't take the
putting
fight.
deadlines and shit like that. Well, no, I mean, I'm just saying. I think that if he the best fight is in his own division where there's a title on the line.
I don't see that.
What has Andre done to get the shot at Canelo? What the fuck has Canelo done at 160 to get a shot at the lineal champion?
He has more names on his resume than Andre.
What has he done at 160 to get a shot at the lineal?
He has more names on his resume than Andre. He's beat everybody at 154 except Floyd, so that merits it. That's enough.
Does Andre has wins in the division at least? Cotto does.
What wins? What are you talking about? What wins does Andre have? Brian Rose?
Inside that division at least. Canelo hasn't even fought in that division. And now you're telling me he deserves a shot at the lineal champion?
So you're talking about the technicalities of 157s or 156. This is what you're talking about? Just say it. Just say it so everybody knows. Say it so everybody knows that you're being petty by saying he didn't fight at the division because it was at 154 or 155 or 157. That's what you mean, right?
Has Canelo fought?
Is that what you mean? Is that what you mean? Because I'm giving you 154 pounders that you know he's fought, and you're saying no. So that must mean that you don't respect those fights because they weren't at 154, right? Because Angulo, what was he?
A guy that fights at middleweight.
What was Angulo?
Has Canelo fought a guy that fights at middleweight?
Dude, when you're the man at your division, listen, I don't know what boxing you've been watching. When you're the man at your division, you don't need to fight anybody at the next one. Show me where that's happened at. Didn't Floyd move up or he fought other people at 154? Come on, man. See, you're the real Flomo. When Floyd moved up to fight De La Hoya, did he fight other 154 pounders before De La Hoya? Or did he go for the cash cow? Did he go for the cash cow?
Is Alvarez Mayweather?
In his division, fuck yeah, he is.
Why he's been outclassed in his division?
Outclassed. All right, man. All right.
He hasn't?
No.
Lara, right? You scored the fight for Lara, right?
I scored it for Lara, yes.
And Canelo winning that fight.
Lied, right?
Alvarez won that fight.
I scored it. I scored it for Canelo. For Lara, and I probably had it wide. We all know I score for boxers.
Yeah, well, there's only one man in that. There's only one man in the ring that night that wanted to win a fight.
You scored Froch over Durrell. I don't care about your scorecard, Stuart.
And to be fair, I also thought
Laura. And I don't care about yours, so we could be here all day.
I also thought Laura beat Canelo, but they didn't give him the decision.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he was outclassed. Because outclass, that's what Mayweather did to Pacquiao.
No, Canelo. Laura did not outclass Canelo, but he did
outclass. Outclass is Beltran, fucking Crawford.
Right.
Okay. The point is the most competitive fight for Canelo is Andre. Period. But
Man,
you guys
you're insane, dude. You're insane.
Fights,
listen.
You say he's not big enough name.
I want you to start calling in every single show and saying you want to see Errol Spence versus Mayweather. Then he got kicked out. He got kicked out the gym. He gave him a black eye. That's what we want to see.
That's not the most competitive fight.
Oh, so what is? What is the most competitive fight for Mayweather then? What is?
Conor Brook.
Khan or Brook?
Yeah.
Nah, not in my opinion. He got bigger fights than that. He could rematch Canelo or Cotto.
Those guys aren't more. That's not a tougher fight for Floyd. Either one of those guys compared to Conor Brook. Are you crazy?
Nah, bigger fights, man. I wouldn't waste my time if I was Floyd.
That's what you want. That's what you want. Bigger fights.
Better fights too. Better fights too. Better fights too. Better fights too.
Well, I mean,
Khan got put down.
What?
Khan got put down by fucking Julio Diaz. You don't think that Floyd's straight right hand will put Khan down?
And Kirkland got put down by Ishida, and you guys said it was a credible opponent. So what the fuck did that mean?
Because one knockout doesn't mean you're not credible. He is a credible opponent.
Why?
What you mean why? Because he's done good at that division.
Because Ann Wolf is his trainer. That's why.
No,
His
that's not
Kirkland's
me.
a fucking bum.
That's not me. He's done well at the division though.
Kirkland loses to every guy in the top 10. Maybe Bundridge he beats. Every other guy in the top 10 he loses to easily.
Maybe, but not when he was coming up. Not when he was coming up.
And that's who the number one guy in the division fights. And the guy's been on a 17-month layoff. That's who the number one guy in the division fights. The guy that everybody else in the top 10 would beat. That's credible.
Yeah, it's better than Brian Rose or Vanes Martirosyan.
You guys say like, oh, Golovkin.
No, but why are you ignoring that? Why are you ignoring that? Kirkland has had more in-ring experience with higher quality opposition than Brian Rose and then fucking Vanes Martirosyan. Vanes Martirosyan was still fighting Tro Laurie 2 years ago. So what are you talking about? Yeah, Andre's resume is shit.
Brian Rose got knocked out by Carson Jones in a round.
I mean, this guy's out of control. He's talking about Andre. His resume is garbage. Basura.
I don't ask about his resume, Nez. What do you think? What happened?
It doesn't matter. He hasn't earned his spot. He hasn't earned it. He ain't even fighting.
Canelo hasn't earned a spot at the middleweight strap either.
Okay. All right, that's your opinion.
He doesn't get a chance at the lineal champ because he beat fucking James Kirkland.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion.
A debatable decision with Lara.
What you're saying isn't even debatable. Let me tell you something. Listen. Let me make it real simple, right? Again, we go back to Floyd when he moved up to De La Hoya, right? He didn't take no in-between fights. He moved up for the cash cow, right? So now there's no one else at 154 that's fought the level of opposition that Canelo's fought. No one. Well, Laura's the only one. But he's been losing, whereas Canelo's been winning. So Canelo has the right to move up and challenge the next division the same way Floyd did. Why are you ignoring that?
I'm not ignoring that, but how can Canelo jump right into that division to get a shot?
All right, I'm done with you, Mark. I'm done with you because you don't make any sense. I just explained it to you how. What the fuck don't you get?
He needs that shot instead
of
Golovkin.
Look. Let's do it this way then, right? Let's do it this way. This is gonna be real simple. Does Laura deserve a shot at Cotto? Does Laura deserve a shot at Cotto? Does Laura deserve a shot at Cotto?
He should fight Andre.
Does Laura deserve a shot at Cotto, man?
No.
Demetrius Andre, does he deserve one?
No.
Does Cornelius Bundridge?
No.
Austin Trout?
Why are they?
Austin Trout.
No.
Jamel Charlo, Martirosyan, Molina, Clottey.
Austin Trout already fucking stomped Cotto.
Any of those names, do they deserve a shot?
Maybe he does.
Any of those names, do they deserve a shot?
Nobody who fights at 154 deserves a shot at the lineal middleweight.
Okay, so if anyone at 154 was gonna do what your father did, who could do it?
I mean, I guess off name recognition, Alvarez, but
off name recognition or off resume?
If you're going off resume, there's a guy at 160 that.
All right, Mark, everybody just seen you be proved wrong. I gotta go, brother. You're out of control. I hope this is Fight Doctor here. Let me see if I can get this intro right. He might not even be calling from this number.
They call me Black Superman.
Oh, wrong intro. Fight Doctor.
Yo. Don't even respect your ass. That's why it's time for the doctor to check your ass, nigga.
Oops. That is not Fight Doctor.
This is Leno from the Shy.
What's up, brother?
What's going on, man?
Yo, let me ask you really quick because I don't want Mark. He hung up anyway, but they'll probably listen to the playback. Am I unfair, or does Canelo deserve a shot at Cotto based on what he's done? I mean, not deserve, okay? Because obviously there's 160-pounders out there that deserve it more. But if someone was going to move out of their division to challenge the next champion in the division at 154, who else other than Canelo can do that?
No, man. I hear you, man, because Canelo got the name and it's the big fight. So, and he beat viable opponents, man. So, you know, it makes sense. You know, it got to make sense. Ain't nobody finna just because a guy might be credible, his name might not be big enough to fight Cotto. You know what I'm saying? But I'm basically calling to address these catch weight bitches in boxing. I'm getting tired of it. Now, people always rip Floyd and Pacquiao, but the new catchweight king of boxing is this motherfucker Canelo, man. I can't remember the last fight when he fought at 154, and his post-conference, he got the nerve to say if he fight Mayweather again, ain't no catchweight. Bitch, you been fighting that catchweight for the last 3 fights. So, him, Broner, Garcia, Andre Ward at this 172 shit, this shit is getting out of hand, man. You know, I mean, they making their own fucking divisions. This shit is ridiculous, man. I'm getting tired of it, man. You can't make 140, then you're a fucking welterweight, period. Broner coming in at 141, talking about 144. Danny Garcia talking about fighting me down there at 144. All that bullshit. You're a fucking welterweight, man, if you can't make 140. I'm getting tired of it, man. You know, they getting away with murder, man, and this shit, and they not even big enough boxers to be doing this shit to people, but they just getting away with it because it's a decent fight. This shit is out of hand, man. What you think, Ness? What you think, man?
Well, I've always hated catchweights, brother. Always.
But this shit getting out of hand, though, ain't it? It's
man,
like,
it just comes down to
it's becoming the norm now.
It comes down to name recognition, man. I mean, I interviewed Cotto, and he told me, like, you know, when I was coming up, I had to do what they said out because I was the B-side. People are just doing it now so they can let the world know I'm the A-side.
Man, that too, and fighters not making weight. Nah, it's just fucking up boxing, man. Cause making weight for the division, that's part of the game, man. And they just doing whatever the fuck they want to do now, man. It's just ridiculous now. But, you know, Canelo, he got off a good one this weekend and shit, but, you know, and these guys are these motherfuckers, Canelo, he can't do no wrong, man. Shit. I'm tired of it. You got
all right, brother.
Pactars, you got Flomos, and you got Caneloids now. This shit is ridiculous, man. I'm gone. Tell Porter don't fight Broner at no fucking 44 either.
Man.
Tell that bitch to step up to 147 too, if he wanted.
All right, brother.
Can.
I doubt it, man. They're gonna take that big fish and try and fry him. Let me see. Casual fan, you got the show playing in the background.
Yo, my fault. I should be back on now, very clear. You hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yo, I don't know what's going on, but I'm sorry, man. I have a stuttering problem. The Mother's Day party in my background. But I just want to talk about the whole Canelo. Is Mayweather? Is he the Mayweather of his division? Lara, you keep calling him Laura. Stop it, please. Lara versus Canelo. Lara does deserve a rematch. Why do I hear people keep saying Laura on the Boxing Voice when it is Lara? I'm sorry, brother. I had a lot. Viva Mexico. Hello.
All right, that's it.
Don't stop it. No, man. What? Ask me something. I'm casual. You know, people who say stuff about casual fans, I constantly hear it. What is going on? I have no headphones on. You're on my ear, on my phone. So I want to know what's going on. I hear things on Boxing Voice all day, all night in my house. I never found the Figueroa fight last night. Let's talk. Ask me something, brother.
Well, we're gonna take some callers. You're gonna have to hear what they talking about. But basically, it was I was trying to defend Canelo on the fact that he should be allowed to move up and challenge Cotto because he's put in the work at 154. Like, you know, that's just it. You know, Cotto's obviously not gonna fight Golovkin, so the next big fight is Canelo. Let me get to 805. You're up.
I'm with the casual fan. Viva Mexico.
Viva Mexico, brother.
We run it, brother. Nah, I'm just kidding. Anyways,
no, seriously, Viva Mexico. I just want to know, Kirk. Everybody's saying this thing about like, yo, they and here it goes, right? It was like this. There's like a negative all of a sudden. Like, dude was. I gave the second round to Kirkland, and Kirkland came in to bust ass. And all of a sudden, like, I hear people talking about like, oh, it didn't. I don't know what I heard, but it was negative against Canelo. And then
of course, it's always gonna be negative, brother. I mean, look at Mayweather. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
That's just what that's just what it is, man. Like,
and then
yeah, fighters could do no right, man. I mean, no matter how good they look, people are always gonna look for things to scrutinize and criticize. And look, we all knew what Canelo and Kirkland was before going into this fight. We knew that Kirkland was off for a while. We knew that he had a suspect chin. Now Canelo beats him like no one ever beat Kirkland before, because not even Ashita made it look like this, because he put Kirkland to sleep. Ashita put him down. He was still trying to get up. The referee made him stay down on that third knockdown. In this one, he was asleep. His body looked like it had no bones in it when it hit the canvas.
Can I stop you, please? Yes, dope. I understand that. He fell down. I didn't want to see the replay the third time. Like, I was hurt, right? But this is the truth, right? All right, so people are saying Kirkland was knocked out. To me, the whole Ann Wolf talk and the Kirkland, you've seen Kirkland get knocked out before. You've seen Kirkland burn out before. You didn't see Canelo burn out. So Canelo burnt out. I gave second round to Kirkland, right? And I'm like,
what do you mean?
I was thinking the fight was coming back. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of fight that I watch. I'm a casual fan. That's the shit I watch. People always say shit about casual fans, hardcore fans, and I'm like, yo, that was a dope ass fight.
I watched
Kirkland against Tapia Part 2. That's the real question. Will I? Yes. Will Tapia bring it back? Hell, motherfucking no. Pardon my French. I'm just hyped up. I'm sorry. I'm just being casual. I stutter. I got to catch up to my brain, and my mouth has to catch up. So, what's next for Kirkland? Who is next for Canelo? I hear people calling and saying they're not impressed with Canelo, and I heard Ness say that. Ness changed my mind after the Pacquiao fight with Mayweather or Pound #MayPac. He changed my mind, and people changed my mind against Ruslan versus Matisse. So watching this fight against Canelo and Kirkland, would I make a bet Vegas the day before or at 6 p.m. Western time? If somebody told me, yo, it's gonna be a brawl, who would I bet against? I would have been against bet against Kirkland. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Well,
I'm sorry.
You picked right. You made the right pick. You made the right pick.
Well, you know what? I totally agree with that. I mean, coming into this fight, I went with Canelo, but I had doubts. I mean, Kirkland's a badass motherfucker. You know what I mean? That's why he's the Mantico Warrior. And I really believed that he was going to give Canelo a good fight. And same with Pacquiao, you know, giving Mayweather a good fight. But they didn't. They didn't produce. And unfortunately, skill pays the bills, man. And that's what happened.
Right, but I just want to ask people and ask Nesta, what is next for Canelo? Is it Triple G? Do I put my money on Triple G?
Hell no, it's not Triple G.
You know, brother, you know it's going to be fucking Cotto.
And,
No.
All right, so Cotto, in my heart, I think Cotto's gonna win, and I'm tired of the trend. Heart, mind. My heart wants this person. My mind wants this person. I'm gonna keep it this way, right? Casual as everything is laid down. I wear jeans and I will wear a button up. And if you hardcore, that's fine. But have a conversation with me, but don't be mad when I say that I think Cotto will be the winner on the Triple G fight or the Canelo fight, because like Kirkland, stop, don't laugh.
Oh my.
Stop. Let me finish. Kirkland came in the fight, a killer. Canelo came in the fight, a man with a resume.
Kirkland
Now
has no
Cotto,
defense, brother.
Killer. Nah. You got to keep watching, player. You got to keep watching and keep listening, man. All the signs were there. Everybody told you about his inconsistencies, all that. I got to keep it moving, though. 8:05, finish up, brother. I got a shitload of callers.
All right, check it out. I just want to eat crow for fucking Glenn Tapia and Frankie Gomez, man.
Don't act like Crow is very good for you.
Frankie Gomez didn't fight, though, man.
But check it out. Hold up. Hey, is James on the line?
Nah, he's having issues.
All right, we're gonna handle next week because Benavidez is gonna handle it. Thank you, brother. Peace.
All right, 409, you're up.
Yo, JD, man. I was at that fight, right? And I saw something disturbing to me that a lot of people won't know. But I don't even know the guy's name, Kirkland's trainer. This dude was like outside, like it's like 30 minutes to 45 minutes before his fighter to come out, and he's outside like trying to get people in and shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, that was, to me, I saw that as unprofessional. Like, and I ain't trying to put too much on it, but like in my mind, you need to be back there with your fighter, getting his mind ready. You know what I'm saying? And he just like, I don't know. I just think that was a young guy doing something, stupid. You know what I'm saying? It was weird. He was like trying to get tickets to some, maybe his family members or something. I don't know. But anyway, getting to the fight, nobody said nothing about this, but Kirkland came out with defense. I don't know if anybody saw that, but I was like, this dude was flipping every punch. I was like, wow, this shit is amazing. Like, they really taught this dude defense. And as soon as he got caught with that first punch, he forgot what defense meant. It was like, this dude got caught with that first hard punch, and he was like, what defense? Like he never heard a word. But if y'all go back and watch that, this dude was flipping, ducking. He was doing everything on point. And I was like, oh, shit. Canelo might be in trouble right here. And then, sure enough, as soon as he got caught with that first shot, man, it was like, what the fuck? But anyway, I did want to say this about Andre. Like, I think that, some fighters are just unfortunate. They can't get fights that they want, you know what I'm saying? And they're going to get shitty fights. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. So that's just another one of those guys we got to be patient with. We can't just, you know what I'm saying, say he ain't fought nobody and then praise Triple G in the same sentence. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like that part. Like, you'll defend Triple G, but you'll shit on Andre.
Triple G got a better resume than Andre, man.
Oh my God.
What? Where is Andre's former world champion? Where? Who? I'm waiting. I'm still waiting.
Look, man, he's gonna get his.
All right.
You know,
So then,
we just gotta be
so
more patient.
until he does, you can't say that I'm discrediting him or whatever.
Hey, but I can't say this though. I can't say this.
We don't care about Danny Jacobs. We don't care about Danny Jacobs.
No. I'm not even gonna bring him up. We on Andre now. This team Andre. No, but seriously though, I don't want to see him fight Canelo because it'll be a shitty fight, just like the Laura one. You know what I'm saying? I want to see a competitive fight. I'd rather see him against Toto.
Andre need to get in the ring, brother. JD, let me keep it moving here. Listen on YouTube, man. Can I get some thumbs up or what? I mean, 200 plus people watching. I can't get a couple thumbs up. I'm about to turn this YouTube off. How about that? In the next 5 minutes, it's 9:48 over here. I don't give a fuck what time zone you on. 5 minutes from now, if that number don't change, I'm clicking on all YouTube. Cause y'all need to be watching if y'all ain't helping me out. 214, you're up.
Hey, it's me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, first off, I'm going to say, this old boy Brian was getting on your ass. Canelo, you don't deserve to go right after the lineal champion. You try to cut him out for over-talk him, but he was making some valid-ass points. But I ain't going to even get into that.
No. You started it. So what valid points did he make?
Let's go then.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay. So just calm down because you got your phone is a little iffy. Unless you on speaker, if you could take it off and tell me what was the valid points, or you ain't even got to do that. You could tell me why he doesn't deserve a shot. You already know my argument, right?
You still got to give me my call.
Yeah, I don't care.
Let me still give my call afterward. Okay. Well, that's a bit. Well, the reason why I say that is because, like Brian was saying, he ain't fought nobody in 160. He don't even got a belt. Usually when people go, like you were saying that shit about Mayweather jump to De La Hoya, Mayweather had belts. Now, if you got a belt and you move up to another weight class, then yeah, you can jump in the top 5 and you can fight the way through, or maybe you can go after, depending on your name. Canelo ain't got no belt, man. This nigga ain't even fighting at 154. Like, then he going and fighting James Kirkland, and then he got 2 iffy-ass decisions and a loss to Mayweather. Come on, man. Like, I understand he got a big name, but let's be reasonable about the shit. He should not be fighting Miguel Cotto unless Miguel Cotto, like, Golovkin should get that fight first. Shit, Monroe should get the fight before Canelo because he is not a fucking 160-pounder.
So you're saying because Canelo doesn't have a title, he's not allowed to challenge Cotto?
Exact. No, I'm saying he can challenge, but he should not be able to leapfrog other people that's in their weight class.
Now, are you forgetting that he didn't want to take the Laura fight for the belt, but he did beat Laura, so technically he is a champ.
No, ain't no technically because he couldn't make 154, so it don't even. He had to fight a catch weight for that. So technically, he's not a champ. Technically, he's a dude that can't make 154, and he's trying to springboard his way to be the lineal champ for 160. This motherfucker he needs to make a weight, man. This motherfucker is like breaking all the rules in boxing, and you fucking piggyback riding them, giving them the green light and shit. That shit not cool, bro. Stop it.
I don't see it that way, man. I don't see it that way. I see one guy beating up everybody at 154. And
okay, hold on.
And let's not forget
everybody at 154. Yeah. Who did he beat up at 154 that has a title? That he fought for a title?
Well,
nobody. Come on. He ain't fought nobody for a title. He lost his title. He lost his titles, man. Dude ain't got no. He lost his titles to Mayweather. Then he ain't got no titles.
He did, but nobody in that
That's what I'm saying.
But nobody in that division has a better resume than him.
But see, you talking about resume, but we talking about the rite of passage. He don't have a rite of passage to fight for a lineal, just like Cotto didn't have a rite of passage. Only reason why
you got to remember though. You got to remember though. Hold on, you got to remember that we don't want this fight to be Canelo Cotto for the belt because of the belt. We want Canelo Cotto because that's where Cotto was fighting at. He was a 154-pounder. Let's not forget it. Cotto left the division without giving. He left the division without giving us our fight. Canelo offered him the fight when he was at 154. So Canelo just chasing. Canelo just chasing his fight. He just chasing his fight. That's all he doing.
Yeah, well, he needs to chase a title in his division and stop.
He don't need it though. He don't need it. It was 40,000 people in Texas, dude. He don't need a belt.
Canelo can sell out anywhere he go. Like if you put him anywhere in the bathroom in Oak Cliff, he gonna sell that out, man. It don't matter where he go.
That's my point.
Wherever.
That's my point.
Whoever he fight, if you put him in the right venue, man.
But that's my point. So he doesn't need a belt. He is the belt.
I understand, but if you making it seem like, well, if he going after Cotto for that belt, or he just fighting Cotto? You saying he just fighting Cotto?
My friend,
that's who
Floyd
Mayweather.
Listen, Floyd Mayweather stood out the ring 18 months, came back and fought Marquez. I ain't hear nobody complain about that.
Come on now, when you talk about Floyd Mayweather, you talking about an anomaly that'll never happen again.
Hey.
He shouldn't even be mentioned with normal boxing.
No,
ever.
He did it. He set the precedent. He did it. But anyway, go ahead, go to your call, man. We ain't gonna find no common ground on this argument.
Okay, I see that. The Figueroa fight, you should be happy for that because man, he looked like prime steak for Danny Garcia. He looked like a comeback fight for Danny. He looked like somebody Danny Garcia knocked the shit out of. And I'm from Texas. And shit, I like Figueroa, but the way he fight, man, that shit look like some amateur shit. And the ref, I box, and I would never want him to fucking referee my fight ever, especially if I'm fighting the brawler. Because if you trying to hold shit, you're going to lose. If you're trying to use that into your tactic and strategy, that's game over. Miguel Cotto is done. Like, once you put him in there, and that's why he going to fucking ride this. He gonna ride that three fight deal he got with Rock Nation now until he not gonna fight nobody tough to that last fight. Cause Trout beat the shit out of him, man. And Canelo, like, it was a close fight, but Canelo gonna do the same thing to Cotto. The same exact thing. And then shit, they had him looking like a little Chucky doll against fucking Kirkland. Like he had a sheet over his head and Canelo had a knife to his fucking throat. That was embarrassing. Yeah. But other than that, man, Adrian Broner, he'll get on Sean Porter ass. And I know Porter your boy, but I think AB will get him. And also Kell Brook and Manny Pacquiao, you know they talking about that fight in December. What y'all think about that?
I thought his shoulder was hurt and he'd be out for a year.
Say, I thought the same damn thing, and that's why I said that shit is fake, man. They fake that shit. Because how the fuck he gonna come back and fight Kell Brook in December? That's what they talking about. And they talking about 6 months for the fucking for the injury to heal and then like 3 more months of rehab. So that motherfucker faked that injury, man. That shit fake. I don't care what nobody say. He faked that shit because, you know, he put that shit on God and now he looking stupid as fuck.
Hey, brother, let me get to some other callers here. I will say, man, I really want to do an epilogue review. You know, obviously, I've turned into some sort of flow-mo amongst the listeners, but I think that was well done. I really do. I believe that because of the angle that Team Pacquiao took, this epilogue went a different way. I believe that's why they gave us the scene of Mayweather filling out the questionnaire for the paramedics or the doctors or Nevada. And I think that's why they showed us that. I think that, you know, he gets so much shit and we think he's such a bad guy. But here we are. He didn't know Pacquiao. You see someone saying Ness loves Flomos. You see what I'm saying? Like, he didn't know Pacquiao was going to say he had an injury, right? He didn't know anything, but he chose to go as far back as when he got an MRI in the Ortiz fight. So that's just one guy being honest, and the other guy filled out the questionnaire the way that he decided to, you know. So
I thought that was very good, Nessa. I'm glad they showed that. You know, I'm glad somebody had the guts to actually show what happens after you weigh in and the kind of paperwork you're supposed to do, because I don't think we've ever been shown that before. So props to Showtime and Mayweather for doing that.
And not only that, you know, they also showed the Nevada State Athletic Commission saying that they only knew about Pacquiao's injury at 6 p.m. Western time, Western time, right? So
right
there you go. You know, it is what it is, man. You guys, you can lead a horse to water, can't make you fools drink it. 770, you're up.
What's going on?
What up? What up?
What's going on? Real talk.
Real talk. It's been a minute.
With a new number.
Yeah, it's my other phone. Yeah, man. I've been listening, man. I gotta eat my crow on the Pacquiao fight, so go ahead and give it to me.
You didn't pick Pacquiao.
Yeah, I picked Pacquiao, man.
What the hell was wrong with you, man? I thought you watched boxing.
What? Well, here's the thing.
Well, wait a minute.
I'm only eating the crow because
I mean, the judges gave it to him, but I mean, it could have. If it would have went either way, it wouldn't. It would have been.
Man,
I mean,
you obviously don't even want to. You obviously don't even want to finish your call.
I'm
90 seconds.
same performance on many times and get the decision. I mean, but we can say for one thing, I don't know where you guys are saying that Mayweather outclassed him. I just don't see that. I mean, you can't get hit repeatedly with straight left hand and say you outclassed. But when Mayweather lands a punch, he gets 3 points for every punch he lands. But I'm gonna end that. I eat my crow. No, I just want to talk about the Canelo and the Cotto and all that. You got what you guys were talking about.
60 seconds.
Go for it.
And I'll just give a little whiff of reality here in this situation. I mean, I think Canelo deserves a shot at Cotto, and it's just simply because they were supposed to fight at 154. I don't really, put too much into that 160-pound belt because, I mean, really Cotto didn't really, if you want to be technical about it, he didn't really deserve a shot at the middleweight title to begin with. So, really, we just want to see Cotto and Canelo get in it, and that'll be a good fight. I think that's a 50-50 fight. A really 50-50 because both guys actually match up well with each other. Canelo is just the type of fighter that he loves. He just does well when a fighter comes to him. Like if he ain't got to cut the ring off, he ain't got to chase you down. So Cotto,
10 seconds.
And that kind of works in his favor a little bit. But then on the other hand, Cotto is the type of guy who don't want the pressure on him. He would rather that he can come forward, and he would rather be the guy that you take breaks and kind of give him a break. So both of these guys I say Cotto's got a little bit more stamina, but I think I just don't see that Canelo is going to put enough pressure. The only thing I can see is it's going to be a tough fight for Cotto just because of, Canelo punches well. So there'll be spots in the fight. If you put Canelo, Cotto, and Mosley and De La Hoya in the ring, you're going to get similar. They're all similar fighters. It's going to be a real 50-50 if any of those guys fight each other. It's pretty much, they're boxer punchers, but they have little different variations in which, little different styles, but they're basically boxer punchers at the same level, in my opinion, and they all kind of do pretty good. But I give Cotto an edge in that. As far as Triple G, I think, Triple G has a nightmare style for Cotto. Canelo actually would fare better. I don't think he wins. I think he gets probably knocked out, but I think it's a lot tougher fight. I think Canelo has a better style for Triple G just because he don't have to cut the ring off on Triple G. He'll be right there for him to hit. But I think still, though, Triple G is just so tough. And that's one thing. But let's be honest now, to kick on another subject, let's be honest with Mayweather. There's only one guy that's going to beat Mayweather. And I did some research, and Mayweather has had a reach advantage on every single person that he's ever fought that I've looked back all the way to Zab Judah was the only guy that matched him in reach. Triple G doesn't even have a reach advantage on him. He has a 72-inch reach, and he's had that advantage on everybody. And there's only one guy in my book that's going to beat him. And the funny thing is Cotto could actually destroy this guy stylistically. Cotto destroys Erislandy Lara stylistically because that's the type of fighter that Cotto does well against, somebody he can come forward and cut the ring off on. But in my opinion, Erislandy Lara will outclass Mayweather, and he has a 75-inch reach, a 3-inch reach advantage, and he's a master boxer, and I just don't see. You guys tell me, explain to me what can Mayweather do to beat Erislandy Lara? Because he won't have to do much because that fight ain't happening. Real talk. I got too many calls. I'm gonna move on right now, but I just don't see that fight happening. I don't think there's any reason that it'll ever get made. The push or hype that was behind Lara, it failed. Even for me, a guy that's been behind him after the Canelo fight, he knew the magnitude of the event and he didn't do what he had to do to secure that win. 508, you're up.
Yeah, this is Georgie Forge and Naz, man. What the fuck happened with Kirkland, man? That nigga got knocked the fuck out so funny, bro. Man, listen, bro. Let me do a public service real quick. When listeners, you guys listen, people talk about Beltran. Delorme, Kirkland, Probovnikov. That's the barrel of the bottom of the barrel on HBO. That's the crap that they got left. What they got left? Triple G, Crawford. Now they want to bring Chocolatito. The other day they got Chocolatito ranked third when nobody has seen this motherfucker fight in America. And then you want to make these fucking fights credible. They got Algieri coming down the fucking pipe. You guys are going to be excited? We don't know what's going to fucking happen. Man, come on now. Great show, guys.
All right, Georgie Porgy, but I will say Algieri's going to be fighting on PBC, not HBO. 201, you're up.
What's up, guys? Great show as always, as Jersey said. Man, a lot to fucking talk about. First of all, let's talk about Omar Figueroa and Ricky Bums. Now, what happened was, these are two B-class brawlers, and they provided us with a entertaining, very low-level boxing fight. It was very sloppy. I've seen plenty of amateurs fight better than that, but nonetheless, I'm not going to complain about it because I enjoyed it. I'm not really too pissed about the holding like Ness's because it's part of the game. And the way Figueroa was kind of throwing himself into Ricky Burns and, I don't know. Man, they just both suck. That was the result. Nonetheless, it was fun to watch. I like to see Omar Figueroa again. He does not have the potential to become a world beater, but he could be a fan favorite type of fighter, like kind of like Provatnikov for Arturo Gatti, a fun guy to watch, an action guy, because that's what Figueroa is. Now moving on to Canelo and Kirkland. I picked Canelo. We knew if Kirkland was able to survive the first 3 rounds, it would have been very difficult for Canelo, and that's what he was beginning to look like. But fortunately for Canelo, he was able to get him out of there before things started getting tough, because that pace was a very fast pace. If Kirkland was still there after the 4th round, Canelo was going to have to change up his game and start boxing and keep him at the end of his jab. And I don't know if he would have been able to do that, but fortunately for him, Kirkland wasn't able to take his punches and he couldn't keep coming forward. He just got destroyed. Fun fight. It was a fucking hell of a fight, man. I think this might be the fight of the year for me so far. I enjoyed the shit out of this fight. Even though it was just 3 rounds, I wish only, it's just so unfortunate that not even half the amount of people watched this fight last night than the one the week before, because I think if casual fans got to see the fight last night, boxing would have many more new fans. But that's just my take on it. And let me see if I got something else to say. This fucking Broner and Porter fight, I like it and whatnot, but the thing is, like, I don't like this 144 shit. Like, Broner has to make a decision. It's like either you fight on that 140 or you fight on 147, And I don't have a problem with fighters fighting at both weight classes at the same time, but I don't want no catch weights. Catch weights have a place in the sport, and they're only for fights like, let's say, 2-star fighters that aren't in the same division, and they're like maybe 2 divisions apart or even 1 division apart. And the only way to make the fight happen is to meet at a catch weight. That's when you do a catch weight. De La Hoya Pacquiao is a perfect example of that. I mean, you can't expect a Pacquiao who was fighting at 135 only one time to just move up to 154 and fight De La Hoya. And you can't expect De La Hoya to go down to 135. He hasn't fought there since he was a very young kid, So that's what catch weights are for. But for a fight like Broner and Porter, I mean, there's no catch weight needed. These are both guys.
Hey, Sev.
Broner has fought at 140. Huh?
I just want to go back. You said something like Canelo, if everybody would have been watching this and all this stuff, you know, but isn't it unfair of you to try to compare that fight to this fight when Kirkland was a guy with coming off of 17 months or 12-month layoff? Has already demonstrated.
I'm just comparing like the entertainment and the explosive aspect of it.
Yeah, but you're always gonna have an entertaining fight when it's one-sided.
Right? No, I know. Well, I'm just saying. Like,
people didn't like Rod Salk or Danny Garcia, but I bet you they like the knockout.
Yeah, but Kirkland, that's totally different because Kirkland's in the same weight class as Canelo, and he has
which weight class is that?
54-pounder.
Which weight class is that? Wasn't this a catchweight fight?
Well, these are both 54-pounders, and to be honest with you, and I said this on your show before, and for those of you that don't know, let's say if a fighter is fighting at 154. And they're going to fight a fight that's not for any regional or world title, it's not uncommon for them to fight 2 pounds or a pound above the normal weight. And years back, you could go onto BoxRec and check to see for yourself and see that I'm right. But unfortunately, you can't do that now. But take my word for it. If there's a fight and there's no titles on the line, and let's say you fight at 140, chances are the fight's going to be 142 or at 143 because fighters don't want to kill themselves to make a certain weight if it's not for a world title or a regional belt or an eliminator or something that's going to get them ranked higher than they already are. You know what I mean? But that's that. So that's why I don't really have a problem with Canelo fighting at 155 as long as it's not for a world title or any type of belt because that's the way boxing works. Now the thing is, with the Porter and the Thing fight, that's kind of retarded because that's not a weight class, and like it just I don't know, I don't like it. But you reminded me of something. Going back to the Canelo fight, he looked really good, and I know there are some people out there, and I'm sure Mario, he loves Canelo, and they're going to say, oh, he's a world beater now. Look, listen. Canelo is going to fuck anybody up that stands in front of him, okay? Kirkland was a good style matchup for him. If he fights Lara again, he's going to have another close fight with him. It's not like he got better than his last fight. He didn't. It's just the style was more suitable for him. He's always going to look like a lost puppy when someone pumps the jab and moves and uses their legs a little bit. That's always going to be the case because Canelo has very fast hands, but he has very slow feet. Okay, so when he's not going to be a guy that's going to be able to cut the ring off very well effectively, especially a guy with good legs, and even a guy that doesn't really move that much but just creates angles and is a little slick, will still give him problems. But that's that. He's an entertaining fighter to watch. And he's still not a bad fighter, and I look forward to seeing the rest of his career develop. But, yeah, that's that.
All right, Sev. Hey, Jay Nice, what's up, brother? Talk to me.
Yo, what's going on, man? It's been a minute, bro. I wanted to call in the Sunday that you were in Vegas after the Mayweather fight to basically gloat a little. I did tell you that it was going to be a total domination. Not quite like the Corrales one that, I expected it to be. And my wife was pretty happy too. I was even going to get you some donations by doing a friendly bet with Ringside Robbie, but I couldn't call in on the day of the fight prediction. So you got lucky, Robbie. You got lucky.
Well, hey, even though I picked Pacquiao, I scored it 10 rounds to 2 for Mayweather. So, hey, he won it fair and square.
Yeah, you know what, Robbie? I completely respect you. Ness, I think you should be punishing some of the so-called boxing fans because it doesn't matter who you go for, but you have to be like Robbie. Even though he was rooting for Pacquiao, come on, man. This fight was obvious. It wasn't. I don't even understand how some people even say that Pacquiao won that fight. It's ridiculous. But enough about that. I actually called in because as soon as I started hearing your debate with Mark, this shit is ridiculous, bro. You made some really great points about Mayweather when he went up to fight De La Hoya. He had never fought in junior middleweight, but then he was like, oh, well, that's Roy. Okay, there's other examples. What about Pacquiao? When he went
No. He said Floyd had titles. That's why he was able to move up.
Oh, okay. How about Cotto? When Cotto went up to fight Sergio, how many titles did he have at 160?
None.
Yeah, exactly. Let me see. Not only that, but technically speaking, anything above 154 technically is middleweight. So in a way, this fight with Canelo and Kirkland was middleweight in a way. He was saying that Canelo had not fought anybody at middleweight. Technically, by the rules, it's above 154. It's middleweight.
Well, then you could, for that argument, you could use Canelo's last 3 fights at being middleweight because all 3 of those fights were
but it would be
155.
But it would be null and void because Mark's point was that he hadn't fought any true middleweights. He's saying Canelo hadn't fought any middleweights. Having a fight at middleweight and actually fighting a middleweight is a different story.
Okay, but who did Cotto fight at middleweight?
No one. Listen, that's why I was on the other end of that argument, because what's good for the goose should be good for the gander, in my opinion. And that's the way I like it.
Yeah, man. So that got me to pick up my phone and just rally behind you because I'm always listening to the show, even though I don't call in. I always support you guys. But sometimes I gotta chime in and give my 2 cents.
Brother, it wouldn't be the voice if we didn't get you upset enough to call in, man.
All right, bro. So that's it. I'll just probably mute myself and just listen to the rest of the show, bro.
All right, bro. 985, you're up.
Yeah, I enjoyed the fight with Canelo. He did good. I really believe the other guy should go back to letting that wolf training because he just doesn't do well when she doesn't have her. And I hope Canelo does fight Cotto because that's the fight we should have got in the first place. If it wouldn't have been for Cotto waiting for Mayweather, we'd have had that fight in the first place. That's about all I got.
All right, brother. Now, remember way back when Canelo was trying to get Cinco de Mayo and, what would have happened then, Because a lot of people are not happy, with the result that we did get. So I'm just saying, what if that would have happened, man?
Oh, I remember that whole fiasco, but I tell you what, I don't blame people for being as upset as they are. I mean, we didn't get the fight we should have gotten, but I've been telling casual fans ever since this fight happened, you have to know what you're ordering. You have to follow the sport enough to know what you're doing.
No, but Robbie, you know what? In my opinion, the casual fans are liars. They know. They've watched at least, from Victor Ortiz on, And if they're older than that and they're casual fans, well, guess what? You're not really a casual fan because if you watch Mayweather, Corrales, and, all these people, Castillo, man, you ain't no casual fan if you still around, and you know what style it is. That's why I don't feel sorry. I don't feel sorry for them. I didn't even want to watch this fight again yesterday. Like I told my wife, I was already like on 3.5 times now. So now with yesterday, they had it on both channels, and I wasn't happy about that. They had it playing on both freaking channels. So I was forced to watch it again, and it was just too easy, man. It was too easy. I'm just happy it's done and over because now everything moves along. I see Khan already, and he's saying, oh, I'll fight in September, and I'm not ruling September out. He could find a way to make it happen even through Ramadan because it'll be like 2 weeks before Ramadan or something like that. So I guess some people are still going to be stuck on that Mayweather sweepstakes, but the rest of the world can keep moving. You know what I'm saying? It'll keep moving.
Yeah.
Like, look, already they're talking about Kell Brook Pacquiao. I mean, that's crazy. I thought Pacquiao needed a year off. I don't know.
Oh, well, that's what I've heard. I don't look. I don't blame Cal Brook for trying to get big names on his record, but you know, from everything I've read and everything I've heard, he's not supposed to fight for a year. So we'll wait and see what happens. But you know, the only guy I feel bad for in this Canelo Cotto situation is a guy like Triple G, because on Thursday we're going to do a show previewing Triple G, Willie Monroe, and we're going to get all the callers that call in and complain about, well, Triple G's not fighting anybody. Well, I mean, here he is in a situation where Cotto is going to wind up, if he beats Gill, he's going to wind up giving a fight to Canelo, and Triple G is still going to have to play the waiting game.
Well, you know, Triple G is in a position where he's already beat most of the names in his division. I mean, in the top 15, you know, he's not going to be able to fight Daniel Jacobs. Billy Joe Saunders obviously is doing a rematch with that dude.
Yeah, I don't understand that, because isn't Billy Joe Saunders the mandatory for Andy Lee?
Yeah,
I didn't
but there
understand
was
why that fight was made.
I think he's doing the rematch with the Bank kid, the Eubank kid.
Yeah, right.
There's probably more money in it. You know, what are you gonna do? Hopefully they could get Andy Lee in the ring and he could unify it. Remember, Andy Lee signed for that fight before. Let's get to these two last callers here. 909, you're up.
Fucking Floyd Mayweather. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Can you mute your radio in the background, please?
Yeah, you're on.
Okay.
You got to mute. Listen, 909, listen to the sound of my voice. I need you to grab your radio and mute it or turn it off so that when you talk, we don't all hear ourselves through your speakers. You're on.
Can you hear me?
We hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I just want to talk about man, I can't believe it got to him, but straight up, I mean, Mayweather, you don't think this guy is bad for boxing? I'm the guy who called you like probably 6 months ago, said, what do you think about Pacquiao and Mayweather? You said that's $1 million question, but I'm trying to say, you don't think this is bad for boxing? That's a champion. Doesn't a champion have something to show, like some extravagant shit besides running away? I mean, yeah, you got defense, but come on, dog. James Kirkland and Alvarez just made boxing just look so great right now. And I'm glad that America didn't get to see a fight that good. I'm glad that Alvarez was saved for the real boxing fans. So those are real boxing fans. The Kirkland fans and the Alvarez fans. Now Mayweather, he could retire. You could do what you want. Go beat up Amir Khan or whoever you want to fight. But get the fuck out of boxing, dog. You're just a disgrace to boxing right now. You got so much money that you don't even know what to do no more. You don't. The only people who could beat you is a Madonna guy, someone who grabs you and says, you know what, I need to get a hold of this guy and hurt him. But anyway, besides that, Alvarez, I think he could fight Mayweather again. No one's brought that point up, but I think he's ready for Mayweather. He was just a real young dude. He's seen every style, Laura, everybody. So anyway, I'm gonna hop off, but I think boxing is still alive and kicking, and I just want to say, Mayweather, please beat boxing, because you ain't got nothing for boxing no more except to get money from us and all the real fans. So get out of here, Mayweather. Bye.
Wait. Why don't you like him? Oh, he hung up. You know, I want to cross-examine.
I don't get that.
I want to cross-examine one of these guys, man. I don't understand. I need to get in the minds of these guys.
Look, Floyd Mayweather. Not everybody likes his style. I grant that, but he proved on Saturday night when he fought Pacquiao that he is supremely good at defense. Whether Pacquiao was injured or not, he made Manny Pacquiao look like he did not belong in the ring. Okay, and I understand these fight fans that like brawlers and like people like Canelo that can knock out a guy like Kirkland or a guy like that likes Triple G that does knockouts. You know, I get that, but That's what's fun about this sport. There are different kinds of fighters and there's different styles. That's why the old saying is styles make fights. We wanted to see Pacquiao and Mayweather fight for years. We finally see it, and Floyd practically pitched a shutout. He made it not a contest, people. And I guess you have a problem with somebody that finally went out there and convinced us true boxing fans that he knew what he was doing. He predicted it all along. We just didn't pay attention to what he had to say because we didn't want to.
All right. Man, Robbie. Oh, there he goes. 614, you're up.
Yo.
What's up?
Boys, what up?
Talk to us, brother.
Not much.
Man, good week for boxing, man. I didn't get to catch everything. I just got to catch the Canelo Kirkland on YouTube, man. Damn, my boy Kirkland got stressed the fuck out. And I fuck with Kirkland, but I don't know if it was his fault, man, or his corner's fault, or, man, they need to tell him, man. From that first round on, it was already apparent that he was not going to win the slugfest, man. He had to, you know what I mean, last a few rounds at least, man, to make the fight, you know what I mean, winnable for himself. Like, goddamn, he tried to slug it out early, but it was apparent that wasn't what the fuck he was supposed to do. He was getting clean, like, with, like, clean shit. You know what I mean? Like, they wasn't telling him shit. Like, they let him go in there and just keep doing that crazy shit. Like, Canelo was tagging his ass. You know what I mean? That was crazy. He was fucking him up. But, Canelo and Cotto, I think we should see that fight, you know, besides the weight, besides, you know, anything, you know what I mean? It's a good fight. You know, people talking about it. It's a good fight. They're both good fighters, you know. They can come up with something, you know, with the weight and get it on. And the dude that just called before this, man, he's not a fucking boxing fan, man. He's not at all, man. Because no matter if you like Floyd or not, what style you like, whatever, man, what style you prefer, how you want to see the fight play out. Like,
hey, brother, are you on your speakerphone or something? Because you sound like you're going in and out.
No. I'm not on the speakerphone. You can't hear me?
I hear you now better. Just try and talk into the receiver. You were going in and out.
Oh, yeah, my bad. But I was saying, yeah, man, that dude was tripping, man. He ain't no boxing fan, man. If you was a boxing fan, man, you'll respect everything. I mean, you might not like it, you might not like Floyd, but, man, hey, it's boxing, man. It's different styles, you know what I mean? Different strokes for different folks, but it's boxing, though. You know what I mean? You might prefer something different, but it's boxing, man, When Floyd retire, he'll get the respect that he's, just do. They hate him now, but 20 years later.
I just don't get it. I don't get it. How could people feel that way, right? If it was so easy, if all he does is run, well, then why hasn't someone ran after him then?
Right. If all he does is run and all he does is, you know what I mean, jab, shoulder roll.
No,
right
you hear guys say, "Oh no, he just pity pats. He fights in an amateur style. He pity pats. He pot shots." Well, why are you letting him do it? Why? Cut the ring off.
All y'all are professionals, man. If y'all can't beat this man and y'all are professionals, can't cut off the ring, can't do any of this, man, what does that say about y'all? Why does it always have to be this man's fault? You know what I mean? He's fought more than, you know what I mean, enough world champions to prove, man, that, that's him doing that. It ain't, you know what I mean? It ain't, you know what I mean? Y'all need to step your game up, man. That's y'all's fault, man. He's doing that to y'all.
Hey, 614, I'm going to go ahead and place you on hold, brother. You're still going in and out, and it doesn't sound that great. I apologize. I know you waited there for a good amount of time. But we are going to end this show anyway. We've been on for about 3 hours and a half. I hope we've given you guys your boxing fix for the weekend. We spoke about all the fights. Let me see if there is anything that I left out. Nothing big in the headlines except for the fact that Carl Froch might retire after being stripped by the WBA. Whatever. He's been saying he's going to retire now for a long time, ever since he didn't get that fight with Julio Cesar Chavez. But who knows? probably the best time to fight Chavez is now. I don't know if Chavez will take it. He's rumored, or he said he's going to be fighting Patrick Hyland, or I forgot the other name. No one important. But this has been our recap of Canelo Kirkland, which obviously still spilled over from the big fight from Mayweather Pacquiao. Happened May 2nd. It's going to be a while. We had 6 years to build up to it, so it's going to be a while before we get over it. But we'll continue to cover the sport and every fight in it. And, you know, I want to appreciate everybody that listened in and called in and participated, and everybody listening on YouTube that shared the show and also gave us a thumbs up. Remember, you could drop us a 5-star review on iTunes. It helps with visibility for the show and to allow us to continue to grow. I want to thank all our subscribers because we're actually at 23,000 and like 100 right now. So thank you for that. You know, we obviously want to continue growing the YouTube channel until we're the biggest boxing show on YouTube. And we can only do that if you guys continue to share, thumbs up. And like we said, you know, continue to subscribe, which is the most important part. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Boxing Voice is here every Thursday and Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And I don't know, man. We get enough tweets. We'll do that Mayweather epilogue because I see, you know, I'm getting this Floyd. I'm getting this shadow of me being a Floyd nut hugger. So I don't want to do the show now. And people say I'm a Flomo, but I thought it was a very good episode. You know, I love the way that he was talking cash shit. I didn't like the fact that he said no rematch, and I told you guys this would be that. Alex DeLarge, there goes your shout out. Yeah, I knew that this would happen, you know. I knew that he would get upset to the point where we wouldn't get that rematch, and we should. I mean, if we got Marquez 4 times, fuck, give us this couple more times, because I don't like the fact that now there's that doubt of that shoulder injury. I don't like that doubt. I don't like that. I don't like that. I would rather shout out the chat, and that's okay. Philip Briggs, Lisa, Gio, Mario, Colombia, Kaser, Jamie, nobody here, Alex, C. Frazier, I think Mario, Nick, that looks like it, Joe Lopez, I don't know. Tram, Sam, Gold, whatever, Hoarder. Hazel, Giving Quality. Hama. Who else? I don't know. If I ain't get you, I get you next week. All right, but anyway, man, that was my little rant, man. If you guys want it, let me know. Tweet at me at NestGTO, and let me know if you guys want that Mayweather epilogue review. I sure do want to do it, but only if you want it. So anyway, we're out of here.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.